Finally come down on one of Indian cricket's most endearing yet enigmatic chapters, Rohit Sharma's journey in Test cricket. A career that began with promise, fluctuated with inconsistency, and culminated in leadership and triumphs. Rohit's retirement from the longest format is both poignant and powerful. His announcement, made quietly amidst the chaos of the IPL, leaves behind a legacy filled with brilliance, grit, and a tinge of unfulfilled potential. The early years, talent meets turbulence. Rohit Sharma's Test debut was delayed by a freak injury, a moment symbolic of the career that followed, filled with unexpected twists. For years, the hitman found himself on the fringes of India's red ball plans. While his ODI and T20I feats were already making him a white ball legend, his Test numbers stuttered. Between 2013 and 2018, Rohit averaged just under 40, decent, but not match-defining, often sparking debates about his place over more specialist batters like Pujara or Rane. The turnaround, finding home at the top. The turning point came in 2019 when Rohit was asked to open the innings. The move was met with skepticism. How would a stroke maker with a white ball reputation fare against a new red cherry? Rohit answered with swagger. In his first series as opener, he struck twin centuries against South Africa, including a majestic 212 in Ranchi. Over the next 5 years, he averaged over 50 as an opener, with 12 centuries, each one in a match India won. Rohit had finally arrived, not just as a Test cricketer, but as one of the best openers in the world. In 2021, he played his masterpiece, a series-defining 127 at the Oval during the England tour, showing immense patience and tactical nous. That innings, built on restraint and resilience, was widely seen as his Test batting zenith. For a man once considered allergic to discipline, this was poetic validation. Captaincy and character. Taking over as Test captain in 2022 after Virat Kohli's departure, Rohit brought a different energy to the role. He wasn't the animated enforcer like Kohli, nor the icy tactician like Dhoni. Rohit was calm, intuitive, and affable. Under his captaincy, India remained dominant at home and reached the World Test Championship final in 2023. While that final ended in heartbreak, his leadership was lauded for its clarity and cohesion. However, as his batting form waned, so did India's invincibility. The final 12 months were painful: series defeats to New Zealand and Australia, low scores, missed matches, and eventually, a selfless act of stepping aside in Sydney. It was a rare moment of self-awareness in elite sport, the captain admitting he wasn't one of India's 5 best batters. More than numbers. Rohit retires with 4,301 runs in 67 tests, averaging 40.57, with 1,200s and 1850s. Those numbers, while solid, don't scream greatness. But they don't tell the full story. What Rohit brought to Indian Test cricket, especially in the last 5 years, was momentum, intent, and a sense of elegance rarely seen in this era of attritional batting. He struck 88 sixes in Test cricket. Only Sehwag has more for India, and often accelerated games into winning positions. His ability to adapt, playing long innings in England, aggressive ones in India, and his understanding of conditions, showed his growth from a mercurial talent to a matured craftsman. Legacy, and what comes next. Rohit's Test career will be remembered for its two halves, the underwhelming promise and the stunning redemption. His retirement signals the gradual sunset of a golden generation. With Ashwin already gone and Jadeja nearing the end, India must now build anew. There's speculation that Jasprit Bumrah or Shubman Gill will take over the mantle of Test leadership. Whoever it is, they will inherit a dressing room shaped in part by Rohit's mellow steadiness and selfless captaincy. Though his whites are hung up, Rohit will continue in ODIs, where he remains India's captain and still a potent force. But Test cricket, that toughest, truest form, will no longer see the languid elegance of his back-foot punch or the audacious beauty of a lofted straight six. From frustration to fulfillment. In Rohit Sharma's own words, life won't change by what people with a mic, pen, or a laptop write or say. They can't decide when we should retire. I know what I need in life. Rohit walked away on his terms, in a way only those with a deep love for the game can. For all the doubts, delays, and detours, he leaves as a celebrated opener, a respected leader, and a player who, even in tests, made us believe that batting could still be art. Farewell, Hitman. The Whites will miss you. India clinched third ICC Champions Trophy title with commanding victory. Rohit, Rahul, and spinners shine as India triumphs over New Zealand in the final. Dubai, March 9, 2025. India cemented their dominance in world cricket by securing their third ICC Champions Trophy title, overcoming New Zealand by 4 wickets in a gripping final. With this win, India continued their formidable record in ICC tournaments, remaining unbeaten for the second consecutive campaign and further solidifying their reputation as the most complete team in modern-day cricket. Match summary. New Zealand 251 for 7, Mitchell 63, Bracewell 53, Kuldeep 2-40, Varun 2-45, India 254 for 6, Rohit 76, Iyer 48, Rahul 34, Bracewell 2-28, asterisk. A toss that set the tone. Winning the toss played a pivotal role as New Zealand elected to bat first on a slow, tired surface in Dubai. The Kiwis got off to a rapid start, reaching 69 for 1 in the power play, but India's world-class spinners clawed them back into submission. With 38 overs of spin bowled, more than in any other match this tournament, India restricted New Zealand to 251 for 7, despite a late flurry from Michael Bracewell. Spin to win. India's middle overs stranglehold. Rakan Ravindra, the tournament's leading run scorer, began fluently but fell to Kuldeep Yadav's wrong-on first ball, setting the stage for an Indian spin masterclass. Kane Williamson followed soon after, deceived in flight, and caught off his own leading edge. Kuldeep, 2-40, and Varun Chakravarthi, 2-45, ensured that New Zealand struggled to build momentum, with Tom Latham and Daryl Mitchell forced into a grind in the middle overs. As New Zealand attempted a late surge, Mohammad Shami removed Mitchell, but Bracewell's counterattack with 3 fours and 2 sixes lifted them past 250, just about a fighting total in these conditions. Rohit Sharma leads the charge in the chase. In reply, India came out all guns blazing. Rohit Sharma's commanding 76 at the platform, taking full advantage of the early power play. However, New Zealand spinners fought back admirably, led by Michael Bracewell, 2-28, who removed Virat Kohli for just 1 and stalled India's progress with disciplined bowling. Shreyas Iyer, 48, and Akshar Patel, 26, then steadied the ship with a crucial 61-run stand, though nerves crept in with Iyer's dismissal in the 39th over. At 122 for 3, India still required 67 runs off 68 balls. With the required run rate hovering around a run a ball, KL Rahul, 34 asterisk, calmly guided India home alongside Ravindra Jadeja, ensuring no late hiccups. India's unstoppable streak in ICC events. With this victory, India continued their astonishing record in ICC events, having won 22 of their last 23 completed matches. They now hold 2 of the 4 major ICC trophies, reaching the finals in the other 2. This triumph also marked their second consecutive undefeated ICC tournament, highlighting their unparalleled consistency on the global stage. Looking ahead, India's golden era? This win adds another feather to India's cap, raising the question, are we witnessing the beginning of a golden era in Indian cricket? With an unbeatable combination of world-class batsmen, fearless all-rounders, and an unmatched spin arsenal, India has set the benchmark for all teams to follow. For New Zealand, the wait for another ICC title continues. Despite their valiant effort, they fell short in yet another ICC final, further extending their heartbreak on the grandest stage. As India lifts the Champions Trophy once again, one thing is certain: their dominance in global cricket is far from over.
And every heartbeat feel the roar. With bat and ball, we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India, we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Shall our India rising high, underneath the painted sky? With every chant the spirit soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner eye. Shall our India rising high, underneath the painted sky? With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. And every heartbeat feel the roar. With bat and ball, we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Shala India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner eye. Shala India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore.
And every heartbeat feel the roar. With that and ball, we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Shala India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams through dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arch. Shala India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arch. Shala India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore.
And every heartbeat feel the roar. With bat and ball we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Shalla India rising high underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every playing of a name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner eye. Shalla India rising high underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arc. Shalla India rising high underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. And every heartbeat feel the roar. With bat and ball we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Shalla India rising high underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every playing of a name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner eye. Shalla India rising high underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arc. Shalla India rising high underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore.
And every heartbeat feel the roar. With that and ball we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Shalla India rising high underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits swinging beams through dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arch of our India rising high. Underneath the painted sky, with every chant the spirits soar, cricketing hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arch of our India rising high. Underneath the painted sky, with every chant the spirits soar, cricketing hearts forevermore.
Brevis Blitz, Dhoni calm, CSK shatter KKR dreams in a spin-laced thriller. At Eden Gardens, where spin-spun stories and nerves unraveled under pressure, Chennai Super Kings CSK pulled off a stunning 2-wicket victory that all but knocked Kolkata Knight Riders KKR out of IPL 2025 playoff contention. In a match that veered from explosive to chaotic, it was Dewald Brevis counterpunching half-century and MS Dhoni's vintage calm that scripted CSK's great escape from a 62-4-5 abyss. This wasn't just a match, it was a resurrection, a redemption arc, and perhaps the final nail in KKR's fading campaign. KKR starts strong, Rane, Narine turn back time. Choosing to bat first on a pitch that offered significant grip, KKR came out blazing, knowing this was a must-win match. Ramanella Gurbaz fell early, but Ajinkya Rane and Sunil Narine rolled back the years, putting on a fearless display of power play hitting. They took KKR to a robust 67 for 1 after 6 overs, setting up a total that could challenge even the best chasers. Narine went after R. Ashwin with disdain, and Rane mixed timing with aggression. But once the field spread and the pitch took over, KKR's tempo wilted. Noor Ahmed's spell, for wickets, one turning point. The game turned in the middle overs, as it often does on spinning tracks, thanks to Noor Ahmed, CSK's mystery spinner who delivered a magical 4-wicket burst. He snapped up Narine and Ankush Raghuvanshi in the same over, before cleaning up Andre Russell and Rinku Singh at the death. That double strike not only derailed KKR's momentum but left them finishing with 179 for 6, a total that once looked like 200+ in the making. Given CSK's abysmal record chasing such targets in recent years, they'd lost their last 12 such pursuits. It seemed KKR had done enough. But destiny had other plans. Ervil's fiery debut ignites CSK's chase. CSK's response began with a stutter. Ayush Matre fell for a duck, but debutant Ervil Patel walked in like a man possessed. With flicked sixes, back foot slaps, and clean hitting, he gave CSK a much-needed jolt of energy. His 31 off 11 balls, laced with 4 sixes, was audacious and promising. But as wickets tumbled around him, Conway bowled by Moeen, Jadeja and Ashwin departing cheaply, CSK found themselves reeling at 62 for 5 by the end of the power play. What followed was pure theater. Brevis breakout, the over that flipped the game. Enter Dewald Brevis. At 93 for 5 after 10 overs, the game tilted KKR's way. Then came the over, the 11th, where Brevis unloaded hellfire on Vaibhav Arora 6-4-4-6-6-4. 30 runs. A complete psychological inversion. KKR, once 78% favorites, suddenly plummeted. Brevis reached his maiden IPL 50 in just 22 balls, turning the tide in breathtaking fashion. A drop chance by Raghuvanshi earlier in that over now looked fatal. Dubey and Dhoni calculated calm in the climax. Just when CSK looked home, Varun Chakravarthi, bowling with cold-blooded precision, dismissed Brevis. The game rebalanced yet again. But Shivam Dubey and MS Dhoni handled the chase like chess masters. Dubey, powerful yet patient, struck 3 crucial sixes, including one monster hit off Aurora that seemed to deflate KKR's spirits. With 10 needed off 9, Dubey fell. Then Noor holed out. But Dhoni, always the cool in chaos, launched the first ball of the final over for a towering 6. He refused 2 easy singles, backed himself, and set it up for Anshul Kamboj to deliver the final blow. A chipped 2 over mid-on, and CSK erupted. KKR's collapse so near, yet so far. KKR had done everything right until they didn't. They maximized the power play, exploited spin-friendly conditions, reduced CSK to 62 for 5. But a mix of one poor over, fielding lapses, and lack of composure at the death cost them a must-win game. They now sit precariously on the edge of elimination, relying on other results and net run rate to stay alive. What this means? CSK break a 12-game chasing curse for targets above 180, last successful attempt, IPL 2020. KKR's playoff hopes hang by a thread, needing back-to-back wins and some serious luck. Brevis announces himself, not just with flair, but with impact. Noor Ahmed's spell cements his value on turning tracks. Player of the match, Dewald Brevis. For his 52 off 26 balls, including a game-defining assault on Aurora, Brevis turned a one-sided contest into a heartstopper. He held his nerve, unleashed his talent, and left the crowd breathless. Rain, chaos, and a missed run-out, Titans topple Mumbai in a last-ball nail-biter. Under the lights at the Wankhede, amidst swirling winds, intermittent rain, and pulses racing, Gujarat Titans GT edged past Mumbai Indians MI by a single run, off the final delivery. It was a match that swung, stumbled, and ultimately slipped out of Mumbai's grasp, with rain clouds playing the perfect accomplice to GT's heist. The result not only halted MI's 6-match winning streak, but sent GT to the summit of the IPL 2025 table, in what may be remembered as one of the defining thrillers of the season. Early firepower meets fielding fumbles. GT's decision to bowl first was instantly vindicated. The pitch, rich in seam movement, rewarded discipline. Mohammad Siraj and Arshad Khan choked the top order, dismissing both openers cheaply. But the Titans let the game drift. Will Jacks, dropped twice, on 0 and 29, punished them with a stylish 53, while Suryakumar Yadav extended his golden streak of scores beyond 25. At 97 for 2 in 10 overs, MI looked on course for a 180-plus total. GT bowlers strike back, old hands and new plans. Just when Mumbai were primed to explode, our Sai Kishore applied the brakes. Bowling with guile and precision, he dismissed a charging Suryakumar and outfoxed Hardik Pandya, both trying to hit across the line. Rashid Khan, coming off a rare off game, found his rhythm. He deceived Jacks, and in tandem with Prasid Krishna and Gerald Cutsey, snuffed out the middle order. A late burst by Corbin Bosch added spice, but also saw him take a blow to the head, a moment that would echo later. Mumbai crawled to 155 for 8, a total that seemed defendable only because of the weather and what followed next. A match under threat. The rain begins. With a light drizzle already teasing the Wankhede air, GT's chase began tentatively. The MI pace trio, Jasprit Bumrah, Trent Bolt, and Ashwani Kumar, Bosch's concussion sub, were relentless. Shubman Gill and Jos Buttler faced a barrage of seam, swing, and rising deliveries. Bolt removed Sudarshan early, while Bumrah and Bolt combined to keep the scoring at bay, just 21 in the first 5 overs. If rain had stopped play at that moment, MI would have walked away winners. But the rain eased. The match continued. Middle-order maneuvering and Rutherford's rebellion. Butler sparked to life, only to fall to Ashwani's clever change of pace. Sherfane Rutherford, drafted in as impact player, arrived just when things looked dire. GT were behind on DLS and Rutherford had just 1 run in 5 balls. He responded with a fearless charge, inside-edged boundaries, lofted drives, and a vital overtaken off Jack's part-time spin. Just when GT moved ahead of par, rain returned. Another break. Another plot twist. The calculations begin, Bumrah, Bolt, and the clock. After what felt like a night of theater, the umpires brought the players back for one final act, 6 balls, 15 runs, and 3 of Mumbai's best bowlers out of overs. Chahar, entrusted with the task, was up against a wet ball, a reduced field, due to MI's slow over rate and 2 finishers in Tebdiya and Kutsi. First ball, 4. Second. Third, 6. Fourth, a no ball, followed by a wicket. 5 needed off 2. 3 off 1. The last ball, 1 fumble, 1 miss, 1 win. Chahar fired in the final ball. It was drilled to mid-off. The batters ran. Hardik Pandya fielded and looked up. No one at the stumps. No backup. He had to throw himself. He missed. GT won by 3 wickets. The crowd roared. Players collapsed. MI stood stunned. The themes of the night: margins, mistakes, mayhem. Rain's influence loomed throughout, but never dictated unfairly. It only heightened tension. Dropped catches and no-balls cost MI dearly. 3 no-balls from their bowlers, including Hardik, brought fury and reflection. GT's bowling unit, once again, was their bedrock. Their variety, depth, and control allowed the batters to play calculated cricket. Mumbai's middle-order frailty, masked by recent wins, was exposed again. Rain ends SRH's playoff dreams. DC gratefully escaped the storm. A match that promised a gripping contest between 2 playoff-chasing sides ended with wet outfields, empty stands, and a single soggy point that changed everything. Sunrisers Hyderabad SRH, after a ferocious start led by Pat Cummins, were poised to crush a faltering Delhi Capitals DC lineup. But just as they prepared to chase a modest target of 134, the heavens opened and didn't close in time. The no result not only eliminated SRH from IPL 2025 contention but handed DC a precious lifeline. Cummins brings the thunder. Early, rain may have ended the match, but it was Pat Cummins who brought the early storm. With the grassless Hyderabad surface offering unpredictable bounce and grip, Cummins used every ounce of his craft and leadership. His first delivery of the match set the tone. Karun Nair nicked behind. The ball had just enough deviation off the pitch, a hard-length Cummins special, that made it impossible to judge or counter. In his first 19 deliveries, Cummins had snatched 3 wickets, all caught by Ishan Kishan, who was donning the gloves for the first time this season. The DC top order collapsed like a paper tower in a monsoon, helpless, misjudging length and pace, with edges flying in all directions. And this wasn't just luck. Cummins read the pitch like a seasoned Hyderabad librarian, banging it into the deck, extracting variable bounce, and keeping the seam wobbling. He turned a typically batting-friendly venue into a minefield. With support from Herschel Patel and Jaidevan Adkat, SRH had DC reeling at 29 for 5. The top 4 had been dismissed in rapid succession, all caught behind. It was a rare and telling moment. Ishan Kishan became the first wicketkeeper to account for a whole top 4 in an IPL innings. Stubbs and Ashutosh, the fixers. In the chaos, Tristan Stubbs stood tall. Calm, compact, and composed, he stitched together a cautious yet critical innings. At 29 for 5, there wasn't much left to protect, but there was still pride. He found a gutsy partner in Ashutosh Sharma, who was activated as an impact player. Together, they added a sense of direction and daring to the innings. Ashutosh's knock, 41 off 26, featuring 3 powerful sixes, was a reminder of the depth DC's squad carries. The pair added 66 runs for the 7th wicket, dragging DC from humiliation to a semblance of a fight. Stubbs remained unbeaten on 41, anchoring while Ashutosh accelerated. The final tally, 133 for 7, wasn't imposing, but under tricky conditions, it was defendable. Rain, the unseen player. But the game had another character waiting in the wings, Rain. And it wasn't a cameo. Just as SRH readied themselves to launch the chase and secure a morale-boosting win, dark clouds rolled over the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium. The first few drops became a steady downpour. The outfield was soaked, and despite the tireless effort of the ground staff, play couldn't resume before the official cutoff. The match was abandoned, leaving SRH's playoff hopes washed away with the water that pooled around the boundary ropes. What it means? For SRH, it was a cruel twist. They had the match in their grasp but leave with a single point and the knowledge that even 3 wins from here won't be enough. Their campaign, built on bold top-order batting and the tactical genius of Cummins, now ends with a whimper. For DC, this was a gift. Their playoff hopes are not only alive, but looking increasingly viable. With 13 points from 11 games, they sit just behind the top 4. The rain robbed us of a chase, but gave Delhi an unexpected edge in the playoff race. Final insight: a game of fine margins and rainy fates. Cricket can be cruel in its indifference to fairness. SRH bowled beautifully, tactically nailed the power play, and were minutes away from climbing the table. Instead, a dark sky and a soaked-out field delivered heartbreak. DC, for all their batting misfires, now hold their fate in their hands. Stubbs and Ashutosh salvaged a scrap of dignity, and that effort may yet define their season. Sometimes in T20 cricket, it's not just about who plays better, but who stays dry longer. India clinched third ICC Champions Trophy title with commanding victory. Rohit, Rahul, and spinners shine as India triumphs over New Zealand in the final. Dubai, March 9, 2025. India cemented their dominance in world cricket by securing their third ICC Champions Trophy title, overcoming New Zealand by 4 wickets in a gripping final. With this win, India continued their formidable record in ICC tournaments, remaining unbeaten for the second consecutive campaign and further solidifying their reputation as the most complete team in modern-day cricket. Match summary: New Zealand 251 for 7, Mitchell 63, Bracewell 53, Kuldeep 2-40, Varun 2-45, India 254 for 6, Rohit 76, Iyer 48, Rahul 34, Bracewell 2-28, asterisk. A toss that set the tone. Winning the toss played a pivotal role as New Zealand elected to bat first on a slow, tired surface in Dubai. The Kiwis got off to a rapid start, reaching 69 for 1 in the power play, but India's world-class spinners clawed them back into submission. With 38 overs of spin bowled, more than in any other match this tournament, India restricted New Zealand to 251 for 7, despite a late flurry from Michael Bracewell. Spin to win. India's middle overs stranglehold. Rakan Ravindra, the tournament's leading run scorer, began fluently but fell to Kuldeep Yadav's wrong-on first ball, setting the stage for an Indian spin masterclass. Kane Williamson followed soon after, deceived in flight, and caught off his own leading edge. Kuldeep, 2-40, and Varun Chakravarthi, 2-45, ensured that New Zealand struggled to build momentum, with Tom Latham and Daryl Mitchell forced into a grind in the middle overs. As New Zealand attempted a late surge, Mohammad Shami removed Mitchell, but Bracewell's counterattack with 3 4s and 2 6s lifted them past 250, just about a fighting total in these conditions. Rohit Sharma leads the charge in the chase. In reply, India came out all guns blazing. Rohit Sharma's commanding 76 set the platform, taking full advantage of the early power play. However, New Zealand spinners fought back admirably, led by Michael Bracewell, 2-28, who removed Virat Kohli for just 1 and stalled India's progress with disciplined bowling. Shreyas Iyer, 48, and Akshar Patel, 26, then steadied the ship with a crucial 61-run stand, though nerves crept in with Iyer's dismissal in the 39th over. At 122 for 3, India still required 67 runs off 68 balls. With the required run rate hovering around a run a ball, KL Rahul, 34 asterisk, calmly guided India home alongside Ravindra Jadeja, ensuring no late hiccups. India's unstoppable streak in ICC events. With this victory, India continued their astonishing record in ICC events, having won 22 of their last 23 completed matches. They now hold 2 of the 4 major ICC trophies, reaching the finals in the other 2. This triumph also marked their second consecutive undefeated ICC tournament, highlighting their unparalleled consistency on the global stage. Looking ahead, India's golden era? This win adds another feather to India's cap, raising the question, are we witnessing the beginning of a golden era in Indian cricket? With an unbeatable combination of world-class batsmen, fearless all-rounders, and an unmatched spin arsenal, India has set the benchmark for all teams to follow. For New Zealand, the wait for another ICC title continues. Despite their valiant effort, they fell short in yet another ICC final, further extending their heartbreak on the grandest stage. As India lifts the Champions Trophy once again, one thing is certain: their dominance in global cricket is far from over.
And every heartbeat feel the roar. With bat and ball, we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India, we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Shall our India rising high, underneath the painted sky? With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner eye. Shall our India rising high, underneath the painted sky? With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arc. Shall our India rising high, underneath the painted sky? With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. And every heartbeat feel the roar. With bat and ball, we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India, we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Shall our India rising high, underneath the painted sky? With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner eye. Shall our India rising high, underneath the painted sky? With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore.
And every heartbeat feel the roar. With that and ball, we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India, we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hope, sweet shakes. Victory shines on every face. Jumbo India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant, the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams through dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arch of our India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arch of our India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore.
And every heartbeat feel the roar. With bat and ball, we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India, we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Shala India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner eye. India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arc. Shala India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. And every heartbeat feel the roar. With bat and ball, we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India, we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Shala India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner eye. India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arc. Shala India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore.
And every heartbeat feel the roar. With that and ball, we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India, we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Your India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams through dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arch of our India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arch of our India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore.
Royal challengers Bengaluru held their nerve in a nail-biting clash to defeat Chennai Super Kings by just 2 runs in one of the most thrilling finishes of the IPL 2025 season. With the playoff race intensifying, this match delivered high-octane entertainment, explosive batting, and moments of sheer brilliance under pressure. RCB's batting firepower, led by Virat Kohli, Jacob Bethel, and Romario Shepherd, ensured a massive first innings total, But CSK, spearheaded by young Ayush Matra and the experienced Ravindra Jadeja, brought the game right down to the wire. In the end, it was Bengaluru's execution under pressure that separated the sides. Key moments and game-changing highlights. Romario Shepard's 14-ball blitz, a game-shifting finish. Shepard came in late in the innings with RCB needing a final flourish. What followed was carnage. He smashed an unbeaten 53 off just 14 deliveries, including a staggering 33-run over on Khalil Ahmed, the costliest over of IPL 2025. His calculated assault took RCB from a competitive total to a formidable 1,213 for 5, setting a near unreachable benchmark in psychologically denting CSK before the chase began. "He was seeing it like a football," said Kohli of Shepard's hitting spree. RCB's strategic batting order, Kohli Bethel opening success. RCB's decision to promote Jacob Bethel open with Kohli paid off brilliantly. The pair put together a fluent partnership that took full advantage of the power play, with both scoring at above 160 strike rate. Their stroke play set the platform for a late innings explosion, pushing CSK onto the back foot early. Kohli, 62 off 33, controlled aggression, rotated strike expertly. Bethel, 55 off 33, fearless against pace, handled spin with ease. CSK's missed opportunities in the field. CSK's fielding was a mixed bag. Several missed fields and 2 dropped catches, including a crucial chance to dismiss Shepard early, proved costly. These lapses inflated RCB's total by at least 15 to 20 runs, a margin that turned decisive in the end. The rise of Ayush Matre, a star in the making. Ayush Matre nearly pulled off a miraculous chase. His 94-run knock was composed, aggressive, and filled with authority, taking on RCB's pace and spin with composure. What stood out was his temperament, unflustered even when wickets fell at the other end. "He batted like a seasoned pro, not a youngster," said Harbhajan Singh in post-match commentary. However, his dismissal with CSK needing 22 out of 10 balls was the final turning point. His wicket stole momentum, just enough to tilt the game back in RCB's favor. RCB's death overs comeback. RCB's bowling unit struggled in the middle overs, especially against Jadeja's calculated hitting, but in the final overs their discipline returned. Langai Ngaidi, who had been expensive early on, held his nerve under pressure. The final over, bowled by Yush Liao, was a masterclass in defending a small total under pressure, mixing wide Yorkers and slower balls to concede only 10 when CSK needed 13. Technical analysis. RCB's batting blueprint worked. RCB's layered batting strategy, solid opening, stable middle, destructive finish was textbook execution. It ensured scoreboard pressure throughout CSK's innings. CSK's death bowling cost them. With an economy rate of over 13 in the last 5 overs, CSK's inability to nail their Yorkers or slower balls at the death proved fatal. Shepard and Kohli capitalized on every misstep. Game of fine margins. Despite the contrasting middle innings, CSK were always within striking distance. The match boiled down to marginal moments, a drop catch, a missed field, and Shepard's cameo. Any one of these going CSK's way could have changed the outcome. What this means: RCB's playoff dream stays alive. RCB moved up the table with a vital win and a significant net run rate boost, thanks to their high-scoring game. Their momentum, boosted by Shepard's recent form, makes them a dangerous side heading into the final phase. CSK out of the race. This loss mathematically eliminates CSK from the playoffs. It marks the end of an era for the Super Kings, as rebuilding seems imminent. Expect new faces and more strategic reshuffling next season. Player of the match, Romario Shepard. For his 53 not-out from 14 balls and match-defining finish that set the tone for the win, Shepard walks away with a well-deserved Player of the Match award. "I just backed myself and went with the flow. I know what I'm capable of," said Shepard post-match. Big Romario unleashed. Shepard's 14-ball mayhem stunned CSK in Bengaluru at M. Chinnaswamy Stadium, Bengaluru on May 3, 2025. Match: Royal Challengers Bengaluru versus Chennai Super Kings. Highlight: Romario Shepard 53 not out off 14 balls, 4 fours, and 4 sixes. Death overs are often where games are decided, but what Romario Shepard did tonight wasn't just decisive, it was destruction. Total, unapologetic, thunderous destruction. The Chinnaswamy crowd had gone a little quiet. Royal Challengers Bengaluru, despite a solid foundation, seemed to be heading toward a par total. Then walked in Big Romario and rewrote the script with one of the most brutal cameos in IPL history. What followed was a storm. No, a cyclone of sixes and screaming boundaries that shredded Chennai Super Kings' death bowling attack. The over that ignited bedlam. 19th over bowler Khalil Ahmed. Ball 1-6 launched over deep mid-wicket. Ball 2-6 clean as daylight over long. Ball 3-4 a slower ball slashed over short third. Ball 4-6 full and punished over long again. Ball 5 7 runs, a 6 plus no ball, a back of length ball hammered over deep extra cover. Ball 6 dot finally some calm. Ball 7 free hit 4 swiped over short fine leg. 33 runs off the over. The entire stadium turned into a cauldron of disbelief and euphoria. Patirana pays 2. But Romario wasn't done. In the final over, the baby Malini, Matisha Patirana, was the next to feel the fire. 2 boundaries pierced the infield like missiles. Then came the 2 towering sixes, leaving the white ball soaring into Bengaluru's night sky. From 1 off 2 balls, Romario raced to 53 off 14, equaling the second fastest IPL 50 ever, just behind Yashavi Jaiswal's 13-ball milestone. The final death blow. RCB racked up 54 runs in the final 2 overs. Romario scored 52 of those. Let that sink in. No one expected this level of carnage. CSK were ready for the threat of David. Instead, they were ambushed by Shepherd, a man who turned up out of the syllabus and smashed every line and length out of the playbook. Final verdict. Romario Shepherd's 53 off 14 balls will go down as one of the most explosive death over innings in IPL history, not just for the stats, but for the way he changed the entire narrative of the game in just 2 overs. A silent crowd became a roaring mob. A standard finish became a statement. And a strong finish became legendary. IPL 2025 Titans tower over Sarich, Gill, Butler, and Sudarshan light up Ahmedabad at Narendra Modi Stadium, Ahmedabad on May 2nd, 25. Gujarat Titans 224 for 6 beat Sunrisers Hyderabad 186 for 6 by 38 runs. GT's top-order treble sinks SRH's playoff hopes. In a searing Ahmedabad evening where the mercury touched 41 degrees Celsius, Gujarat Titans turned up the heat on and off the field to deliver a statement win over Sunrisers Hyderabad. Powered by a masterclass in controlled aggression from Shubman Gill, Joes Butler, and Bisai Sudarshan, the Titans soared to 224, a total SRH never really looked like threatening. The Titans' 38-run win has elevated them to joint top the table with Mumbai Indians on 14 points with a crucial game in hand. In contrast, SRH are now hanging by a thread. Every remaining match is a must-win, and even then, qualification isn't guaranteed. Match summary. Gujarat Titans, 224 for 6 Gill, 76, Butler, 64, Sudarshan, 48, Unadkat, 3 for 35. Sunrisers Hyderabad, 186 for 6, Abhishek, 74. Prazid 2 for 19, Siraj 2 for 33. GT won by 38 runs. Key performances and tactical breakdowns. Gill, Sudarshan, Butler, seamless power, asymmetry. There was a calm but clinical ruthlessness about Gujarat's start. They may have intended to spend the first 3 overs assessing the pitch, but a flurry of freebies from Mohammad Shmi and Pat Cummins demanded punishment, and punish they did. Gill picked up where he left off, majestic on the front foot, efficient with his placement. Sudarshan, reclaiming the orange cap, was brutal on anything short or wide. Power play score, 82 for 0, GT's best ever, and the 3rd highest control percent this season, 79% of runs from controlled shots. This wasn't slapdash hitting. It was textbook tempo setting. Sudarshan fell for 48 off 23, but the tone had been set. GT weren't just targeting a big score. They were going for psychological domination. Butler battles on in the heat. While Gill and Sudarshan feasted on the looseners, Joes Butler had to wade through the tougher phases. After Sudarshan's dismissal and Gill's soft runout, SRH managed a brief chokehold, 17 balls without a boundary. But Butler absorbed the pressure and responded with a composed counterattack. His 64 off 37 was not fireworks, but a necessary glue. It bridged the innings and ensured GT stayed on track for 220 plus. In a heat wave, with 2 wickets down and SRH using cross-seam and cutters, Butler's resolve ensured SRH never gained full control. SRHers bowling blues, death by precision. It's now a grim trend. SRH have conceded 3 of the top 4 controlled power plays this season, and most of them have come against them. The new ball woes continued. Shami looked off rhythm. Cummins gifted away half volleys. Zushin Ansari, their mystery card, could only find occasional success. Even on a catch 3 for 35 was damage control rather than game turning. By the end, SRH bowlers had run out of answers and overs. Praz and Krishna's relentless hard lengths. Chasing 225, SRH needed a dream start. They got Sparks, Abhishek Sharma, and Travis Head launched quick counterpunches, but Praz and Krishna had other plans. Bowling on a low bounce surface, Praz had abandoned his slow ball routine, focusing on high-release hard lengths. His figures 4 overs for 19 runs and 2 wickets, priceless in a high-scoring game. His dismissal of Head was a standout moment, short ball, miscue, and an extraordinary 32-meter sprint catch from Rashid Khan at deep square leg. That one moment shifted momentum firmly back to GTSRH's chase from their never quite recovered. Abhishek's lone resistance. Amidst collapsing plans and rising required rates, Abhishek Sharma showed maturity beyond his years. He counted pace with intent, using the crease smartly and timing his shots with elegance. 74 off 43 balls, adorned with innovative lofts and confident pulls. Yet, with rising pressure, wickets falling, and a required run rate hovering above 14 after the 9th over, it was always a solo stand. When he fell in the 17th over, the chase effectively ended. SRH were outplayed in every key phase. GT's top order got runs quickly, and in control, their bowlers exploited pitch smartly, and their fielders supported with athleticism and awareness. SRH, by contrast, lacked plans, execution, and intensity in the field. GT power play score 82 without loss, best this season. Sai Sudarshan back to number 1 and Orange Atlas now past 540 runs. Praz Krishna second in Purple Cap race with 18 wickets. Rashid Khan went for 50 in 3 overs, his most expensive IPL spell ever. SRH, hanging by a thread. SRH now have to win all remaining games and still depend on other results. Their poor net run rate and erratic bowling means their qualification chances have been severely dented. From playoff contenders to bring a exit in 3 matches, the slide has been swift and unforgiving. When your best phase comes after 10 overs into the match against a side like GT, you've already lost it mentally, said Sunil Gavaskar post-match. Player of the match, Shubman Gill, for his majestic 76 off 39 balls, setting the tempo early and anchoring the innings with fluency and elegance. Final thoughts. GT are peaking at the right time. Their top 3 are all among the top 4 run scorers this season. Their bowling is adapting even without pace leader Mohit Sharma. Their fielding, still world-class. The Titans look like genuine title contenders again. SRH, meanwhile, have all the firepower, but none of the fire control. Their campaign now hinges on miracles and mathematics. Clinical, ruthless, unstoppable. Mumbai crush Royals by 100 to seal top spot and end R's playoff dreams. Match summary. Mumbai Indians 217 for 2 Rick Elton 61, Rohit 53, Surya Kumar 48, Hardik 48 not out. Beat. Rajasthan Royals 117, Archer 30, Bolt 3-4-28, Korn 3-4-23, Bumrah 2-4-15. By 100 runs. They came into Jaipur with a 12-year curse hanging over them. They left with the biggest win of IPL 2025, the top spot on the table, and Rajasthan Royals eliminated. This wasn't just a cricket match. This was a statement. Mumbai Indians, led by swagger, precision, and unrelenting intent, buried the Royals in their own fortress by 100 runs, posting the joint highest IPL total ever seen in Jaipur and bowling them out in under 17 overs. And with that, the men in blue made it 6 straight wins, each more complete than the last. The batting blitz begins. Rohit, Rick Elton raised a power play. The first 3 overs were quiet. Then Rohit Sharma smiled at a doctor's reprieve, and from there he turned predator. He danced across his crease, toyed with field placements, and manipulated the angles like a maestro. slicing Archer behind square and lifting slower balls over cover. It wasn't the most brutal knock he's played, but it was one of the smartest. Ryan Rickelton, meanwhile, counterpunched with raw power. Bowled into his hips. He short arm pulled. They went wide. He reached and whipped. By the time the power play ended, MI had found their rhythm and had lost the plot. Together, the openers added 109. It was already beginning to look like a long, painful night for the home crowd. SKY and Hardik take flight. When Rohit and Rickelton fell, they'd done their job. But what came next was pure middle-order carnage. Suryakumar Yadav wasted no time, literally. He attacked 6 of his first 7 balls, trying to hit a boundary off every second delivery. His pickup shot off Archer's attempted Yorker, while falling down, no less, may well be the shot of the season. At the other end, Hardik Pandya was old-timing in terror, staying deep in his crease, waiting for bowlers to miss the Yorker, and punishing them with flicks, whips, and flat bat slaps. He and SKY added 94 of just 44 balls. 4 MI batters made 40-plus scores, an IPL first for the franchise. And looked out of ideas, inspiration, and belief. Royals' great hope fades fast. The scriptwriters may have dreamed of another miracle from 14-year-old Vaibhav Sivvanshi, fresh off a 35-ball century earlier in the week. Instead, cricket did what cricket does best. It leveled him. His very first attempt to clear the infield saw him caught. A wide-eyed boy who had stunned the world days ago now trudged off for a duck. And just like that, the Royals' chase had lost its soul. MI's attack unleashed Bolt, Bumrah, and finished them. Trent Bolt, fresh off a bruising with a bat, came back breathing fire. He sent back Jaiswal early and celebrated with a finger-gun send-off that dripped with swagger. And then came Bumrah. 9 short balls, 1 run, 2 wickets. He terrorized Parag with bounce, pace, and precision. Even Parag, as the ball sailed into waiting hands, could only shrug and smirk, beaten by something simply too good. Slumped to 47 for 5 in the power play. That's when Hardik gathered his team and uttered 2 words that cameras picked up. Finish them. The bowlers did just that. Koran Sharma spun a web, Bolt returned for more, and Jansen and Cole wrapped up the tail with mechanical efficiency. Were bowled out for 117. Their top scorer was Jofra Archer. Their highest partnership, the 10th wicket. Numbers that tell the tale. MI's 217 for 2, joint highest in Jaipur IPL history. Margin of victory, 100 runs. 6th consecutive win for MI. First win in Jaipur since 2012. Sky's 11 consecutive 25 score, IPL record. Verdict, Mumbai Indians. A juggernaut in motion. Every department firing. From Rickelton to Rohit, SKY to Bumrah, there are no weak links. Top 2? Almost locked. Title favorites? Try stopping them. Rajasthan Royals. A dream that turned to dust. Poor execution with the ball. Fragile top order. Over-reliance on young brilliance and no answers when it mattered. Playoffs gone. Season lost. Player of the match, Rohit Sharma. Not just for his 53 off 30, but for setting the tone, cleverly manipulating field settings, picking bowlers apart, and delivering a veteran's innings at the perfect time. Final word. They said MI couldn't win in Jaipur. They said the Royals had destiny on their side. But destiny doesn't stand a chance when champions come calling. Tonight, Mumbai didn't just win. They conquered. Chennai falls at the first hurdle. Chahul's hat-trick and Iyer's brilliance knock out CSK. Punjab Kings 194 for 6, Shreyas 72, Prabhsimran 54, Khalil 2-4-28, Pathurana 2-4-45 beat Chennai Super Kings 190, Curran 88, Brevis 32, Chahul 4-4-32, Ashdeep 2-4-25, Jansen 2-4-30 by 4 wickets on April 30th, 2025. At M.A. Chidambaram Stadium, Chennai. It began with roars at Cheaport, but ended with stunned silence. In a match that swung wildly from one side to the other, Yuzvendra Chahal's magical 19th over, which featured a devastating hat-trick, flipped the contest on its head and launched Punjab Kings into playoff contention while sending Chennai Super Kings crashing out of the tournament. Chennai looked on course for a formidable total, riding on Sam Curran's sensational 88 off 47 balls, only to suffer a dramatic collapse of 5 wickets for 6 runs in 7 balls. Punjab's chase, led by Prabhsimran Singh's elegant 50 and Shreyas Iyer's ice-cold 72, was nearly flawless until the last few balls threatened to unravel it all. But in the end, Punjab edged over the line, fittingly, with a nervy inside edge 4 from Marco Jansen, as the scores were tied with just 3 balls remaining. Chahal's hat-trick, from crisis to chaos. Until the 19th over, CSK were flying at 184 for 5, with Donny and Jube ready to push them past 200. Then came Chahal. Ball 1, Donny clubs a 6. Ball 2, Donny holes out. Ball 3, Hudor skies the backward point. Ball 4, Kamboj bowled through the gate. Ball 5, Noahmed misreads a googly, caught at long on. 4 wickets in 6 balls. 1 hat-trick, 1 broken Chennai dream. It was Chahal's second IPL hat-trick, a masterpiece of rhythm, control, and game reading. In his first 2 overs, he had gone wicketless, but when the moment came, he struck like a master tactician. Spin was feared, and rightly so. Curran's redemption in vain. If there was one Chennai player who gave it everything, it was Sam Curran. Making only his 4th appearance of the season, he walked in at number 3 with CSK in early trouble at 22 for 2 and dragged them out with authority. Curran's knock had a bit of everything: lofted drives, back foot punches, pulls through square, and clever ramps. He found crucial support from Dewald Brevis 32, but it was Curran who bossed a 78-run stand for the 4th wicket. The defining over came when he hammered 26 runs off Suryansh, setting CSK up for a mammoth finish. That it ended abruptly, with 5 wickets tumbling and 4 balls unused, turned triumph into heartbreak. Prabhsimran and Iyer set the tempo. Punjab's reply began steadily, with Prabhsimran and Arya putting on 44 inside the first 5 overs. When Arya departed to a well-directed Khalil bouncer, Prabhsimran switched gears, launching scoops, drives, and sixes down the ground with timing and composure. After Prabhsimran's departure for 54, it was all about Shreyas Iyer. His knock was an exhibition in situational awareness. He absorbed pressure, rotated the strike, and then unleashed a flurry of blows, including a game-changing 6-6-4 sequence off Patharana in the 17th over. Iyer reached his half-century off 32 balls, but more impressively, accelerated with precision. Even as the match reached its nervy conclusion, he remained calm until he was finally bowled going for the glory shot with 3 runs to win. The final twist. At 188 for 3 in 18.3 overs, Punjab looked home. But cricket had one last twist. Iyer bowled, dot ball, single, dot, wicket, Shashank Singh. Scores tied. 3 balls remained. The crowd was split between disbelief and anxiety. Marco Jansen, tall, ungainly, but fearless, inside edged the next ball to the boundary. A messy, glorious, heart-pounding end to a game that had no shortage of drama. Key turning points. Curran's 26-run over off sheds that set up CSK's 190. Chahal's 19th over hat-trick, 4 wickets in 6 balls, flipping the match on its head. Iyer's counterattack in overs 15-18, dismantling Patharana to kill the chase momentum. Final over drama, as Punjab went from 188-4-3 to 194-6 with the scores level. Tactical highlights. PBKS delayed using Chahal until Donny arrived a smart matchup call that paid off dramatically. CSK's decision to hold back Shivam Dube during Chahal's over, while logical, left them exposed at the death. PBKS sorely missed Maxwell's bowling due to injury, leading to overuse of inexperienced Shedge, who was targeted. Player of the match, Yuzvendra Chahal. 4 overs, 32 runs, 4 wickets, including a hat-trick. A game-defining spell that rescued PBKS from the brink and eliminated CSK. What this means: Chennai Super Kings, eliminated. Their campaign ends with flashes of brilliance, but too many middle overs slumps, inconsistent death bowling, and a lack of punch with a bat at home. Punjab Kings. With this win, they surge into playoff contention, and with Iyer, Chahal, and Prabhsimran firing, they'll be dangerous for any side they face next. Final word. On a humid night at Chepauk, cricket delivered theatre in its purest form. Heroes rose, hopes crashed, and one overturned it all. For CSK, it's a season of regret. 4 PBKS. It's a signal. They're here, they're hunting, and they've got a leg spinner with a flair for drama. Naren orchestrates KKR comeback in Delhi Thriller. Kolkata Knight Riders 204 for 9, Raghuvanshi 44, Stark 3-4 43, Axar 2-4 27 beat Delhi Capitals 190 for 9, Duplessis 62, Axar 43, Naren 3-4 29 by 14 runs on April 29, 2025 AT Delhi. When Kolkata Knight Riders looked to be spiraling out of control in both innings, Sunil Naren stepped in with bat, ball, leadership, and even a direct hit. In a high-pressure, high-stakes encounter, KKR held their nerve to defend 204 and seal a 14-run win over Delhi Capitals, a result that keeps their playoff hopes flickering. Despite a ferocious onslaught from Faf du Plessis and Axar Patel, and a mid-innings wobble of their own, KKR spinners delivered a decisive late twist in the tail. Naren and Varun Chakravarthi combined to turn the tide, as DC crumbled from 136 for 3 to 190 for 9, falling short in a chase they once seemed to own. KKR start hot, fizzle late. KKR flew out of the blocks. Naren, Ramanula Gobaz, and Ajinkya Rahane tore into DC's new ball bowlers with the franchise's best power play of the season, 79 runs, and their best opening stand, 48 runs. But just as they appeared ready to breach 220 on Delhi's best batting pitch of the season, a middle-order stutter slowed things down. Rinku Singh and youngster Ankush Raghuvanshi provided a brief mid-innings rebuild, adding 61, but the final 5 overs yielded only 45 runs as wickets fell and Andre Russell was starved of the strike. From 159 for 4 in the 15th over, KKR would have hoped for 220 plus. Instead, they closed on 204, a good total, but far from a safe one. Tactical bravery, KKR's spin-led defense. KKR were bold from the start. Anukul Roy opened the bowling, in his first match of the season, against a left-hander with only 2 fielders out. It backfired briefly, but he struck with the arm ball in the same over. Vaibhav Arora followed up with a toe-crushing Yorker to remove Karan Nair. The game tilted when Naren, deputizing as captain after Rahane's injury, threw down the stumps from short fine leg to run out KL Rahul. But the real drama unfolded in the second half of the chase. Faf du Plessis, rediscovering his touch, was treating the pitch like a runway. Axar Patel, battling a hand injury, smashed 3 sixes off Naren in a savage counterattack. At 136 for 3 in the 13th over, DC needed just 69 from 41 bowls, with 2 set batters and big hitters to come. And then Naren rewrote the script. The Naren Chakravarthi takeover. Axar miscued a slower ball straight to cover. Naren then produced a sharp off-break to trap Tristan Stubbs. From there, the veteran spinner marshaled his troops brilliantly, targeting du Plessis with spin, knowing his strike rate against pace was nearly double that against spin. Naren's bowling smarts were rewarded. Du Plessis, after a fluent 62, fell to Anukul Roy trying to force the pace. He managed only 8 off his last 13 bowls, suffocated by spin. With 59 needed off 29 bowls, DC still had a shot. But Naren trusted Chakravarthi, despite a rough earlier spell. The leg spinner responded with a killer over. The wicket OF Ashutosh, wicket OF Mitchell Stark. Game, set, and nearly match. Key moments. KKR's explosive power play gave them early momentum, despite stalling later. Naren's all-round influence, 3 wickets, a run-out, and smart bowling changes a stand-in skipper. Chakravarthi's redemption over, just when DC sniffed a comeback. DC's collapse from 136 for 3 to 190 for 9, losing 6 for 54 in the final stretch. Player of the match, Sunil Naren, bowling 4 overs, 29 runs and 3 wickets. Fielding, 1 brilliant direct hit run out. Captaincy, tactical masterstroke under pressure. Not just a cricketer, a one-man strategy engine who flipped the game through decision-making, skill, and icy nerves. What it means: Kolkata Knight Riders, now sitting on 9 points from 10 games, KKR stay in the playoff conversation with 4 games left. Their mix of youth and experience remains volatile but threatening, especially when Naren is in this kind of form. Delhi Capitals. At 12 points in 10 games, DC now face serious heat from chasing teams. After a dominant first half of the season, a top 2 finish is suddenly not guaranteed. Bowling inconsistencies and a brittle lower order could prove costly. Final word. This wasn't just a win. It was a blueprint in composure, calculated risk, and using resources cleverly under pressure. With injuries and momentum against them, KKR looked to Narine. And once again, he delivered not just with a bowl, but with a brain. In a season of young stars and fiery chasers, this was a reminder, experience, when used well, still wins you big games. Siavonchi, 14, destroys records and opposition to keep ours hopes alive. Rajasthan Royals 2-12 for 2, Siavonchi 101. Jaiswal 70, Parag 32, Rashid 1 for 24 beat Gujarat Titans 209 for 4, Gill 84, Butler 50, Theekshana 2 for 35 by 8 wickets on April 28, 2025. In a night destined for history, 14-year-old Vaibhav Siavonchi authored a mind-bending, record-shattering century to breathe life into Rajasthan Royals' faltering IPL 2025 campaign. Chasing a daunting 210, RR made a mockery of the target, rumping home in just 15.5 overs with 8 wickets in hand, the fastest successful chase of 200-plus in IPL history. Siavonchi's 101 off 38 balls was more than just runs. It was audacity wrapped in elegance, fearlessness fused with control. At an age when most are figuring out high school math, he was taking apart Rashid Khan, Prasid Krishna, and Mohammad Siraj with swagger and precision. The child prodigy turns giant slayer. Coming into just his third IPL match, Siavonchi had already generated buzz. But there's a 35-ball century, the second fastest in IPL history, the most sixes in an IPL innings by an Indian 11, and the highest boundary percentage in AT20 century, 94 out of 101 runs in boundaries, was otherworldly. From the moment he launched Siraj for 6 in the first over, he looked unshakable. Whether it was hooking Ishant Sharma, carving Prasid over long off the back foot, or finally depositing Rashid over mid-wicket to reach his century, Siavonchi batted as if guided by instinct, not inhibition. He wasn't just hitting boundaries, he was engineering them. Even his mishits had purpose and momentum. By the time he brought up his 100, jaws had dropped, records had tumbled, and RR were halfway to victory. Jaiswal, Parag played supporting roles in a blockbuster. Yashasvi Jaiswal's unbeaten 70 off 40 balls would normally headline a match report. Not today. To his credit, he rotated the strike superbly, dealt quick punishment when dropped early, and kept up the tempo without interfering with Siavonchi's flow. His maturity allowed the team to blossom freely. Rian Parag, entering after Siavonchi's eventual dismissal to a sharp Yorker from Prasid Krishna, finished the job alongside Jaiswal with crisp, risk-free hitting, highlighting RR's growing stability in their middle order. Before the storm, Titans set a stiff challenge. Gujarat Titans were cruising at the halfway mark. Shubman Gill's 84 and Joe Butler's unbeaten 54 on the backbone of their 209, a total they would have backed as defendable, especially with Rashid Khan, Mohammad Siraj, and Prasid Krishna in their bowling armory. Gill's form at the top and a fifth 50-plus partnership with Sai Sudarshan kept GT in control despite a mid-inning slowdown. The only low came during Hasarenga's economical spell, 3 overs without a boundary, but it was brief. Gill and Butler reignited the innings, adding quick runs off Hasarenga and Archer before finishing with 21 runs in the last 2 overs. On any other night, 209 would have been enough. But this wasn't any other night. Analysis: why Siavonchi's innings wasn't just a fluke. Ball striking maturity beyond his years. His shot selection wasn't wild, it was calculated. The 6-over long off Prasid wasn't slogging, it was timing. Adaptability across bowlers. From Siraj's skiddy pace or Rashid's spin to Janat's medium pace, Siavonchi adjusted angles and methods. Boundary conversion rate. Attempted attacking shots off 26 of his 38 balls. Nailed 15. Scored 25 off the mishits. That's elite-level T20 efficiency. Composure under pressure. RR was staring at elimination, but Siavonchi played like he was in his backyard. Confident, expressive, free. Tactical misfires by Gujarat. No buffer after top 3. Despite 209, GT's batting leaned heavily on Gill and Butler. No explosion from the lower middle order. Karim Janat's 30-run over effectively ended the contest. Introducing him in the 10th over against a rampaging batter backfired. Missing Gill as captain, With Rashid leading in Gill's absence due to back spasms, GT's on-field flexibility seemed restricted. A tactical rethink may have helped. Short ball strategy failed. Ishant's bounces and Prazita's hard lengths only fed Siavonchi's strengths. Player of the match, Vibe of Siavonchi 101 off 38 made up of 5 fours and 11 sixes. Strike rate an extraordinary 265.78. A performance that redefined the ceiling of youth in sport and rewrote record books across formats. What this means: Rajasthan Royals, still alive. This win doesn't just keep them in contention, it galvanizes their locker room. And they now have a once-in-a-generation wildcard in Siavonchi who can take down any opponent on any given night. Gujarat Titans, still strong at the top of the table, but this was a wake-up call. Overdependence on their top order and misfiring plans with the ball, the death need addressing, especially heading into knock territory. Final word: this wasn't just a chase. It was a statement, a coming-of-age spectacle, and possibly the birth of a new era in Indian cricket. If IPL 2025 is remembered for one game, this is it. And if it's remembered for one name, let it be Vaibhav Siavonchi.
And every heartbeat feel the roar. With bat and ball, we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India, we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Shala India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play, another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner eye. India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore.
And every heartbeat feel the roar. With bat and ball, we're legends born. Colors light the picture, light for India, we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Your mind, they are rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams through dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arch of India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With swinging beams, pure dynamite. Feel the blaze and glory's flame. Every play another name. Unity in every crowd. Voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark. Guided by that inner arch of our envy rising high. Underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar. Cricketing hearts forevermore.
Krunal Pandya's all-round brilliance takes RCB to the top. RCB 165 for 4, Krunal 73. Kohli 51. Axar 2419 beat DC 162 for 8, Rahul 41. Stubbs 34. Bhuvneshwar 3-4 33. Hazelwood 2-4 36 by 6 wickets on April 27th. 2025 at Arun Jaitley Stadium, Delhi. On a sluggish, low-gripping surface in Delhi, it was Krunal Pandya's masterclass with both bat and ball that powered Royal Challengers Bengaluru to a commanding 6-wicket victory over Delhi Capitals, a win that lifted them to the number 1 spot on the IPL 2025 points table. RCB's performance was a textbook case of adaptability and mental strength. From a top-order collapse at 26 for 3 to a dominant finish led by Krunal and Virat Kohli, they controlled key phases of the match with clarity and intent. First innings, the squeeze that broke DC. Delhi began brightly with Abhishek Parel's cameo and ended with a late burst from Tristan Stubbs and Vipraj Nigam, but the vast middle overs were dominated by RCB's bowlers. The pair of Krunal Pandya and Suyash Sharma stifled scoring, denying width, varying pace, and bowling into the pitch, a strategy perfectly suited to the surface. Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Josh Hazelwood provided breakthroughs up front and at the death. The turning point came in the 14th over when Axar Patel, just beginning to open up, was bowled by Hazelwood. DC, already struggling for momentum, lost grip from that moment. Delhi's use of the impact player rule backfired. After opting for a bowler-heavy 11 when batting first, they were forced to introduce Ashutosh Sharma as a rescue act after Rahul's dismissal. He lasted just 3 balls, another blow and a tactical misfire. Stubbs provided a late spark with his inventive shot-making, but Bhuvneshwar's final over, delivered under an over-8 penalty, allowed just 6 runs and dismissed Stubbs, cutting short DC's hopes of a strong finish. Second innings, from collapse to command. The chase began disastrously for RCB. Jacob Bethel, Devdutt Padikkal, and Rajat Patidar fell early, 2 to Axar Patel and 1 to a sharp run-out, leaving RCB reeling. The pitch continued to challenge stroke makers, with deliveries sticking in the surface and robbing batters of rhythm. Enter Krunal Pandya, with Kohli at the other end. Their 119-run partnership was built on composure and smart risk management. Kohli, playing the anchor, soaked up pressure while rotating strike, allowing Krunal to assess the conditions before launching his counterattack. From 17 off 21, Krunal accelerated spectacularly, scoring 56 off his next 26 deliveries. He took down both pace and spin, pulling Shamara, launching Mukesh Kumar, and then lofting Kuldeep Yadav with effortless timing. He was dropped on 46, a costly error by Parel at deep mid-wicket that would seal DC's fate. Kohli's 51 OFF 47 balls was not flashy, but vital. He provided the stability RCB needed in difficult conditions. By the time he fell with 18 needed off 13, the game was firmly in RCB's control. Tim David closed out the match in style, smashing Mukesh Kumar for 6, 4 plus a no-ball, 4, and another 4 in a brutal 19th over, turning the finishing touch into a fireworks show. Tactical insights and turning points. RCB's bowling plan suffocated DC's innings between overs 7-4-16, conceding just 59 runs in that period. DC's impact substitution strategy backfired, exposing their thin middle order. Hazelwood returned to remove Axar, shifted momentum squarely to RCB. Krunal's calculated acceleration and ability to dominate both spin and pace was a game-changer. Tim David's clinical finish highlighted RCB's growing confidence and composure under pressure. Player of the match, Krunal Pandya. Batting, 73 not out off 47 balls. Bowling, 1 for 21 in 4 overs. A defining all-round performance that turned the tide when it mattered most. Krunal didn't just rescue RCB, He elevated them. What this means for RCB. With this win, RCB has now notched 6 victories in their last 7 games. The team's formula, an Indian core performing under pressure, a balanced bowling attack, and middle-order firepower, is clicking at the perfect time. For Delhi Capitals, inconsistency and tactical indecision continue to plague DC. Despite glimpses of promise from Stubbs and Perel, the top order's lack of intent and frequent middle-order collapses are serious concerns as they approach the back end of the season. Final word. This match was more than a win. It was a show of evolution from RCB. Once dependent on top-order pyrotechnics, they now boast a side capable of absorbing pressure, adjusting strategies, and pulling off clinical wins on challenging surfaces. If Krunal Pandya's display was a sign of things to come, then RCB's long-awaited title dream might finally be on the horizon. Surya Kumar, Bumrah dazzle as MI cruised to 5th straight win. Mumbai Indians 215 for 7, Rick Elton 58, Surya Kumar 54, Mayank 2 for 40, Aves 2 for 42 beat Lucknow Super Giants 161, Badoni 35, Marsh 34, Bumrah 4 for 22, Bowl 3 for 20 by 54 runs at Ekant on the 27th of April 2025. In front of a vibrant crowd of 19,000, the Mumbai Indians continued their remarkable late-season surge, swatting aside the Lucknow Super Giants by 54 runs to notch up their 5th consecutive victory. With this win, MI vaulted to 12 points in 10 games, keeping their top 2 ambitions very much alive, and celebrated a historic 150th IPL win with style and authority. Ryan Rickleton's fearless 50, Surya Kumar Yadav's blistering 54, and Jasprit Bumrah's death bowling clinic were the standout acts on a day where Mumbai looked every inch side peaking at just the right time. Rick Elton and Surya Kumar launched the assault. MI's innings was built around their philosophy of fearless power play aggression, embodied perfectly by Ryan Rick Elton. His calculated onslaught, highlighted by his dominance over Digvesh Rotti, ensured that MI maximized the field restrictions. The missed early run-out chance cost LSG dearly, as Rickleton's power hitting propelled MI to a strong start. Surya Kumar Yadav, fresh off his milestone of 4,000 IPL runs, showcased why he remains one of T20's most dangerous batters. His ability to manipulate angles and invent scoring options, ramps, scoops, classical drives, kept the LSG bowlers guessing. Importantly, Surya Kumar's innings came at a critical phase. After Rickleton's dismissal and with wickets falling at regular intervals, SKY ensured MI's tempo never dipped. The middle order wobbled slightly, with Hardik Pandya falling cheaply again, exposing MI's slight over-reliance on their top 5. But crucial late contributions from Naman Dhar and Corbin Bosch, aided by LSG's poor execution of the death, notably Aves Khan's erratic final over, allowed MI to post an imposing 215. Bumrah, bolt break LSG's backbone. In stark contrast to MI's innings, LSG's chase fell apart spectacularly after a promising start. Mitchell Marsh and Nicholas Pooran briefly threatened to make a contest of it, taking Deepak Chahar apart in the power play. However, Will Jack's introduction turned the tide. His wickets of Pooran and Pant, the latter falling to a reckless reverse sweep, punctured LSG's momentum completely. Mumbai's bowling strategy stood out for its constant adaptability. Hardik Pandya rotated his bowlers smartly, ensuring LSG's batters never settled against one type of attack. The clever use of part-timers like Jacks, combined with the precise roles assigned to frontline seamers, mirrored the tactical depth that has made MI so successful over the years. Trent Bolt's slower deliveries further squeezed the middle overs, removing key batters Marsh and Badoni just as LSG were looking to accelerate. Bolt's experience shone through, his change-ups proving too subtle for the middle order to handle. And then came Jasprit Bumrah's masterclass. His death bowling arsenal, searing Yorkers, dipping slower balls, and pace variations was simply unplayable. Bumrah's 16th over, where he scalped David Miller and Abdul Samad in quick succession, officially crushed any slim hopes LSG had left. His eventual 4 for 22 was a timely reminder of why he remains a gold standard in T20 death bowling. Tactical trends and takeaways. Pace-off works at Wankhede. Both Bolt and Bumrah's success with slower delivery suggests that teams might increasingly look to take pace off on the traditionally high-scoring ground. LSG's middle-order woes persist. Despite heavy recruitment, their inability to anchor and finish chases continues to haunt them, with Rishabh Pant's indifferent form worsening their problems. MI's balanced formula, their aggressive top order, adaptable bowling unit, and fielding brilliance, highlighted by Surya Kumar's catching, make them a serious threat to any opposition. Rapid fire. Can MI finish in top 2? Absolutely. With key players like Surya Kumar and Bumrah firing, a well-rounded squad, and growing momentum, MI look increasingly like a side destined for a deep playoff run, possibly even another title if their death bowling holds firm under pressure. Arya and Prabhsimran light up Kolkata, but rain washes away PBK's surge at Eden Gardens. Kolkata on the 26th of April, 2025. Match abandoned. Punjab Kings 20144 from 20 overs versus Kolkata Knight Riders 7 without loss from 1 over. Point shared. PBKS 1 and KKR 1. Punjab Kings PBKS conjured a batting exhibition full of poise, power, and precision, only for the weather gods to intervene cruelly, as heavy evening showers denied them a shot at victory against Kolkata Knight Riders KKR at Eden Gardens. On a pitch described as very, very slow even before the first ball, Priyansh Arya and Prabhsimran Singh crafted a masterful opening partnership that defied the conditions, lifting PBKS to a commanding 201 for 4. It was a statement innings, suggesting PBKS had done more than enough, only for the rain to wipe out KKR's chase after just one uneventful over. PBKS, while frustrated, climbed to number 4 on the points table, while KKR edged up slightly to 7th, their campaign still stuttering. Arya and Prabhsimran, timing the key, not muscle. This was a batting masterclass built on timing rather than brute force. Both Arya and Prabhsimran understood the surface quickly. The ball gripped, skidded, and didn't always come on. Instead of overhitting, they stayed upright, held their shape, and picked gaps with surgical precision. Priyansh Arya was elegance personified early on. His first 4 boundaries, crisp drives threading mid-off and cover, set the tone. Arya raced a 50 off just 29 balls, brutal against pace 50 off 20 against seamers, but cautious against spin 19 off 15. Prabhsimran Singh, initially scratchy, simmered to life with a moment of audacity, an outrageous switch-hit 6 off Sunil Narine. That shot flipped a switch. Prabhsimran exploded, scoring 49 runs off his last 17 balls, finishing with 83 off 49. Together, they raised PBK's only century opening stand this IPL, a vital sign of a top-heavy unit finally clicking at the right time. PBKS outsmart conditions. While Arya punished seam, Prabhsimran dissected spin. Against Narine and Varun Chakravarthi, PBKS plundered 74 runs from 8 overs, a serious dent to KKR's plans. Harshit Rana, KKR's designated slow ball expert, was dismantled for 27 runs in just 2 overs. Even in the death overs, when scoring typically surges, PBKS had a battle. Varun and Narine choked the 18th and 19th overs for just 13 runs combined, and Andre Russell found late reverse swing. But the early assault had done the damage. Though they scored just 42 runs in the final 6 overs, PBKS knew that 201 was more than defendable on a tacky surface. Rain denies a thrilling contest. Sadly, we will never know how KKR would have approached the mountain. The skies darkened. Thunder growled. Rain lashed Eden Gardens. Covers came on, and stayed on. Only 1 over was possible in KKR's reply. 7 runs scored, no wickets lost, before the match was called off and points were split. Quick stats. Priyansh Arya 69 from 35 balls, 7 fours and 3 sixes. Prabhsimran Singh 83 from 49 balls, 5 fours and 5 sixes. Tremendous. Highest opening stand for PBKS in IPL 2025, 120 runs. Sunil Narine had an expensive over with 22 runs coming off it. Standout performer, Prabhsimran Singh, 83 off 49, turned the tide with audacity, anchored with maturity. Final word. For Punjab Kings, the partnership between Arya and Prabhsimran will feel like a major gain. A fresh template, timing, clarity of role, and better reading of surfaces was unveiled. Had the rain stayed away, they looked set for back-to-back wins that would have firmly bolstered their playoff ambitions. For Kolkata Knight Riders, there's introspection ahead, bowling plans undone, middle-order reshuffles needed, and playoff hopes now on life support. In the end, Arya and Prabhsimran shone like the sun, but the rain had the final say in Kolkata.
And every heartbeat feel the roar. With bat and ball, we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India, we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Shala India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play, another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner eye. India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arc. Shala India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore.
And every heartbeat feel the roar. With that and ball, we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India, we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Your India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams through dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arch of our India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blaze and glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arch of our India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore.
Kamindu and Harshal lift Sunrisers to historic first win at Chepauk at M.A. Chidambaram Stadium, Chennai on the 25th of April, 2025. Sunrisers Hyderabad 155 for 5 from 18.4 overs. Chennai Super Kings 154 all out. SRH won by 5 wickets. History made at the Fortress. Sunrisers Hyderabad SIH broke a long-standing hoodoo by clinching their first-ever win against Chennai Super Kings CSK at Chepauk, a victory stitched together by Harshal Patel's precision, Kamindu Mendy's versatility, and cool heads under pressure. In a low-scoring arm wrestle on a dry pitch made trickier by heavy dew, SIH chased down 155 with 8 balls to spare, breathing fresh life into a flagging campaign. For CSK, however, a fourth home defeat of the season leave their playoff hopes dangling by a thread. SIH's game plan, craft, calm, and control. This wasn't the power-hitting blitz IPL fans often crave. Instead, it was a throwback, a game won through cleverness, field placements, and mastery of conditions. At the heart of it were Harshal's wily cutters and Kamindu's all-round artistry, each scripting pivotal moments when the game teetered. Harshal Patel, the middle overs enforcer. On a pitch where timing the ball was like threading a needle, Harshal Patel stuck to a tried-and-tested plan, hit the middle of the pitch hard, varied pace subtly, and challenged batters to manufacture their own power. He reaped rich rewards, inducing Sam Curran's mistimed pull to deep mid-wicket, drawing a leading edge from Ayush Matre to mid-off, snaring MS Dhoni with a sharp delivery angled across, finishing with 4 for 28, his best of IPL 2025. Harshal's relentlessness ensured CSK, despite flickers of hope, never built a launch pad for the death overs. Kamindu Mendes, magic hands. Kamindu's imprint on this game was indelible. With the ball, he bowled ambidextrous spin, seamlessly switching arms to stifle CSK's middle order. With the bat, his calm, unbeaten 32 off 22 shepherded SIH home when late nerves threatened. And then there was that catch, one for the highlight reels. Dewar Brevis, the debutant shining bright with a dazzling 42, sent a missile towards long off. Kamindu sprinted, dived full length to his left, and plucked a stunning two-handed catch that silenced the crowd and swung momentum SIH's way. It was a moment of pure magic and a pivotal turning point. CSK's early spark, rapid fade. Ayush Matre, just 17, continued to impress, unfurling gorgeous cover drives and slashing cuts to give CSK a flying start after an early Sam Curran dismissal. But SIH, adjusting smartly, peppered the middle overs with short balls and clever fielding traps, forcing errors. Brevis breathed brilliance, featuring 3 sixes and an over off Kamindu, promised much but ended prematurely, exposing CSK's over-reliance on cameos. The absence of a finishing kick, despite heavy dew, meant 154 felt below par. SIH survived early jolts. The chase wasn't without tremors. Mohammad Shami and Khalil Ahmed struck inside the first 2 overs. Travis Head fell to a smart fielding trap set for him. CSK spinners, led by Ravindra Jadeja, tightened the screws, dragging the run rate below a run-A ball. Ishan Kishan 44 off 34 anchored the first half of the chase but couldn't convert. His dismissal brought back familiar SIH nerves. Kamindu and Reddy, cool under fire. Enter Kamindu Mendes and Nitish Kumar Reddy. Together, they stitched an unbroken 49-run partnership, built not on brute force but intelligent shot selection, deft sweeps, and smart running. No sixes attempted. Plenty of singles, doubles, and gaps exploited. Extras from a slippery ball underlined CSK frustration. Under the flashing Chepauk lights, calm trumped chaos. SIH crossed the finish line in 18.4 overs, finally cracking the Chennai code. Player of the match, Harshal Patel. 4 for 28, brains, bravery, and brilliance under pressure. Final word. Sunrisers Hyderabad may have stumbled early this season, but this performance was a reminder of their depth and resolve. With Kamindu offering a unique triple threat package and Harshal back to his disruptive best, SIH now have a platform to climb. Chennai Super Kings, meanwhile, are grappling with bigger questions, their middle-order malaise, their thin bowling resources, and a lack of finishing firepower. With each home loss, their fortress feels a little less formidable. At Chepauk tonight, the sun rose for SIH and Howe. Kohli. Hazelwood snap RCB's home hoodoo as Royals stumble again at M. Chinnaswamy Stadium, Bengaluru on 24 April 2025. Royal challenges Bengaluru 205 for 5. Rajasthan Royals 194 for 9 from 20 overs. RCB won by 11 runs. Finally, relief, redemption, and roaring joy. Royal challengers Bengaluru RCB, after a string of heartbreaks at home, finally turned their fortunes around with a gripping 11-run win over Rajasthan Royals R. A night of soaring emotions, ice and nose, and individual brilliance saw RCB claim their first home win of IPL 2025 and climb into the top 3. For RR, it was another night of unraveling, a fifth straight defeat that leaves them perilously placed. RCB's gritty script, from setback to soaring. It wasn't smooth sailing. Needing 206 for victory, were in cruise control with 110 for 2 at the halfway mark, riding on a vintage blitz from Yashasvi Jaiswal 49 of 19. But RCB's bowling, led by the ice-veined Josh Hazlewood, turned the screws just when it mattered. Hazlewood stunning 19th over, 1 run, 2 wickets, sucked the air out of RR's chase and lit up the Chinnaswamy in celebration. Hazlewood the hammer, death over masterclass. With 18 needed off 12, momentum firmly with R after Dhruv Jural's resurgence, Hazlewood delivered one of the overs of the season. First, a nerveless wide Yorker induced a faint edge from Jural 47 off 30, confirmed on review. Next ball, a hard-length beauty cramped Jofra Archer, producing a tame lob to cover. 2 wickets and 2 balls, and the equation flipped dramatically. Hazlewood, who had earlier removed the dangerous Hetmyer, finished with a sensational 4 for 33, stamping his authority at the death. Krinal's middle overs strangle. Before Hazlewood's finishing act, Krinal Pandya set up the comeback. Summoned in the 10th over with RR flying, Krinal broke the dangerous Jaiswal Parag stand with his first ball, inducing a top edge off Parag. He wasn't done. Krinal's clever angles and variations starved the batters, returning 3 overs 2 for 19 and breaking RR's rhythm. Suyo Sharma provided vital support with quick, skiddy overs, further increasing the asking rate. IR managed just 1 boundary between overs 10 to 13, the beginning of their choke. Kohli, Padikkal lay the base. Virat Kohli, finally finding his home touch, compiled a well-paced 70 off 45, mixing calculated aggression with trademark drives. His early battle with a fiery Archer was a highlight, as he weathered the early burst before blossoming. Devdutt Padikkal rode his luck, surviving 2 drop chances to notch a stylish 50 off 32 balls. The pair added a crucial 88-run partnership, after Phil Salt's scratchy 26 off 23 had given RCB a patchy start. Just when a late innings explosion beckoned, RR fought back, dismissing Kohli, Padikkal, and Patidar in quick succession. But David Jitesh late surge. Tim David and Jitesh Sharma ensured RCB finished strong. Their 42-run stand in just 19 balls proved decisive. David muscled the ball straight down the ground and over mid-wicket. Jitesh, nimble-footed, found gaps behind square and lofted with precision. Their burst lifted RCB to 205 for 5, a total that seemed slightly over par on a pitch offering just enough help for the bowlers. RR's collapse, a familiar tale. Once again, it was a case of so close, yet so far for RR. Jaiswal's electric start 49 off 19 set the tempo. Nitish Rana looked composed but fell attempting a release shot. Jural's brave knock dragged RR close. But the lack of support from the middle order, combined with RCB's exceptional death bowling, left them stranded, this time painfully short by 11 runs. Key moments. Hazlewood's 19th over, the match-defining spell. Krinal's first ball strike turned momentum just as RR were motoring. Kohli's power play survival blunted RR's new ball hopes. David Jitesh's late fireworks created the breathing room RCB needed. Bhuvneshwar's 2 drop catches, costly errors in a tight chase. Player of the match, Josh Hazlewood. 4 for 33, precision personified under pressure. Final word. RCB finally exorcised their home demons, roared back into the playoff race, and reignited their season with a win that felt bigger than just 2 points. The bowler's composure under fire, Kohli's reassuring 50, and Hazlewood's death overs brilliance showed that RCB, when clicking, can beat anyone. Meanwhile, are teetering. Another lost chase, another opportunity blown. They will need nothing short of a miracle now to salvage their season. At Chinnaswamy, though, the smiles were wide, the noise deafening, and the RCB chants endless. Red-hot MI go third after Rohit's fireworks and Bolt's burst at Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium, Hyderabad on the 23rd of April, 2025. Sunrisers Hyderabad won 43 for 8. Mumbai Indians won 46 for 3 in 15.4 overs. MI won by 7 wickets. If you blinked, you might have missed it. In a game that started with a power play car crash for the hosts, Mumbai Indians turned in a ruthless all-round performance to demolish Sunrisers Hyderabad by 7 wickets, chasing down a tricky total with 26 balls to spare and surging into third place on the points table. At the heart of MI's 4th consecutive win were Trent Bolt's deadly new ball spell, Rohit Sharma's 2nd consecutive half-century, and the now familiar, elegant finishing touch from Surya Kumar Yadav. Bolt's opening blitz sets SIH in freefall. SIH never got out of the blocks. In a sensational opening burst, Trent Bolt, swinging it, angling it, slicing through batters, flattened the top order. His 4 for 26 was clinical and cutting, leaving SIH at a shambolic 24 for 4 in the power play, the lowest 6-over score by any side this season. Deepak Chahar, probing just as effectively, chipped in with 2 wickets of his own. Nitish Kumar Reddy spooned one to mid-on, and Travis Head, usually SIH's power play beast, was undone by bounce and early intent gone awry. And then came one of the most bizarre dismissals of IPL 2025, Ishan Kishan, barely under threat, gloved one down the leg side and walked, even though Ultra Edge later showed no spike. SRH's were compounded, MI's confidence surged. Clayson fights a lone battle. At 35 for 5 in the 9th over, the match could have become an embarrassment. But Heinrich Clayson, cool, calm, calculating, embarked on a rescue act for the ages. Paired with impact player Abhinav Manohar, he stitched a 99-run stand that lent SRH's innings some credibility. Against spin and pace alike, Clayson found the gaps and cleared the ropes. The reverse scoop off Bumrah in the 19th over was as audacious as it was beautiful. He finished with 71 off 44 balls, including 6 boundaries and 3 sixes, each a lesson in pressure batting. Manohar, less flashy but effective, added 43 and kept one end ticking. But once Clayson fell to a Bumrah full toss, MI seized back control. The innings ended in poetic fashion, a rare hit wicket from Manohar, who disturbed his stumps while trying to fend off a Yorker from Bolt in the 20th. SIH stuttered to 143 for 8, better than what it looked like at 35 for 5, but nowhere near enough. Rohit's resurgence, another glorious knock. If there was any lingering doubt over Rohit Sharma's form, it's now buried under a flurry of boundaries and sixes. Chasing 144, MI lost Ryan Rickelton early, caught and bowled by Jaydev Unadkat. But Rohit never broke stride. He dominated the power play with clean timing, spanking a 6 off a Unadkat over long off that drew gasps. His wagon wheel lit up the offside arc as he dismantled Cummins with pulls and drives. And when the spinners came, Rohit didn't hold back, lofting, sweeping, and siding through gaps with confidence. This was Rohit 2.0, free-flowing but calculated. He reached 70 off 47 balls, his strike rate climbing with every over, before finally holding out to mid-wicket against a run of play. But by then, MI needed just 14. Surya finishes in style. If Rohit laid the foundation, Surya Kumar Yadav put the gloss on it. Entering at number 3, Surya absorbed pressure and then unfurled the strokes. He batted like a man on cheat mode, 40 off 19, with sweeps, paddles, drives and dinks, including the match-winning boundary, a pull that beat the fielder at deep square. He was helped along the way by a fumble from Nitish Reddy, a moment that encapsulated SRH's frustration. With Surya finishing unbeaten and MI racing past the target in just 15.4 overs, the NRR leap was significant. From floundering at the bottom, MI have now moved into the top 3, with momentum on their side. Key moments. Bolt's 4 for 26, a new ball masterclass that buried SIH early. Clayson 71, a lone warrior's gem, fighting from the ashes. Rohit 70, class, poise, power, everything MI needed from their talisman. Surya's 40 off 19, the smoothest of finishes on a night MI barely broke sweat. Player of the match, Trent Bolt. 4 for 26, power play assassin, death overs finisher. Final word, Mumbai Indians are back. And how? From slow starters to table climbers, their 4 straight wins showed depth, dominance, and direction. Rohit's returned to form has supercharged their chase machine, and Bolt's burst has made them lethal with the ball. Sunrisers Hyderabad, on the other hand, have much to ponder. Another meet top-order collapse, odd batting orders, and sloppy fielding paint a worrying picture. As IPL 2025 heads toward the business end, MI looks set for liftoff, while SIH need miracles and Clayson clones to survive. Mukesh 4-4 flattens LSG as Rahul powers DC closer to the summit at Bharat Ratna Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee Khana Cricket Stadium, Lucknow on the 22nd of April, 2025. Lucknow Super Giants 159 for 6. Delhi Capitals 161 for 2 in 17.5 overs. DC won by 8 wickets. A return, a revenge, a rout. KL Rahul returned to face his former team. And while Rishabh Pant remained a mystery in the batting order, it was Mukesh Kumar's career-best 4 for 33 that set the tone for Delhi Capitals' emphatic 8-wicket win over Lucknow Super Giants, as DC tightened their grip in the top half of the table, tied on points with Gujarat Titans. And the storylines? Drama off the field, composure on it. LSG's bright start ends in a tailspin. For the first 10 overs, Lucknow looks set to deliver fireworks. Aiden Markram, crisp and confident, launched their innings with clean power play hitting, 2 sixes, swift rotation, smart angles. He scored 30 of the 51 runs in the power play, and alongside Mitchell Marsh, took LSG to a menacing 87 without loss by the 10th over. But what followed was a free-fall. In the next 10 overs, LSG could only muster 72 runs, losing 6 wickets in the process. The well-oiled top order had turned leaky, and it was Mukesh Kumar who wrenched the game back for Delhi. Mukesh the Marauder. It was classic late overs death bowling. Reverse swing, Yorkers, back of A-length menace. In the 14th over, Mukesh broke the back of LSG's surge. First, he deceived Abdul Samad into a return catch, then produced a searing Yorker to knock over Marsh, who was looking dangerous on 45. The final over of the innings was a roller coaster, 3 consecutive falls by Ayush Badoni, followed by Mukesh rebounding with 2 bowl dismissals in 3 bowls, including that of Rishabh Pant, who curiously walked out at number 7 and lasted just 2 bowls. The mystery? Pant didn't appear until 2 bowls remained in the innings, his lowest ever IPL batting position since his debut season in 2016. And when he did, he attempted a reverse scoop first ball. Missed. Second ball, bowled off the pads. The shock value of his late appearance matched only the anticlimax of his exit. Delhi's spin puzzle. While Mukesh ruled the death, Axar Patel played the holding role with 4 tight overs up front, 4 for 29, bowled out by the 7th over. It was a tactical masterstroke that allowed Kuldeep Yadav to operate during the squeeze overs. Kuldeep 4 overs for 33 didn't strike, but made sure the run rate never ballooned. Dushmantha Shemara, returning to the 11, chipped in with a breakthrough of Markram, while Mitchell Starc once again proved Pooran's kryptonite, removing him with a well-directed slower bouncer, his 5th dismissal of Pooran in 7 T20 meetings. The result? LSG were held to their lowest total of the season. Rahul returns to haunt LSG. Last season, cameras had caught LSG's owner delivering a public dressing down to KL Rahul after a heavy defeat. A few months later, LSG released him. On Tuesday night, Rahul responded the way top-class players do, by letting his bat talk. He reached 5,000 IPL runs, the fastest of the landmark, in just 130 innings, and then finished the chase with a 6. Composed, measured, and graceful, Rahul's 57 not out off 43 came without fuss, but full of class. Perel's breakthrough, Axar's finisher touch. After losing Karen there early, Delhi needed a strong start, and Abhishek Perel delivered. The young left-hander scored 51 off 36 balls, his first IPL 50, and paired up with Rahul to stitch a match-winning stand of 92 runs. Perel's wristy flicks and confident sweeps caught the eye, while Axar Patel, promoted to number 4, arrived in 4th gear, smashing an unbeaten 34 of 20, including the winning runs with 13 balls remaining. DC wrapped up the chase at 161 for 2 in 17.5 overs, a cruise after the pressure LSG had built early. Key moments. Mukesh Kumar's 4 for 33, one of the finest death bowling exhibitions this season. Pant's bizarre number 7 entry, 2 balls, 1 misjudged ramp, 0 runs. Rahul's 5,000-run milestone, the perfect exclamation point to a redemption arc. Perel's maiden 50, coming of age on a night when it counted. Player of the match, Mukesh Kumar. For 33, control the death, crushed LSG's momentum. Final word, Delhi Capitals are roaring back into title contention. Their bowling unit, led by the tactical nous of Axar and the pace of Mukesh, is peaking at the right time, and their batting is oozing confidence with Rahul anchoring and youngsters like Perel stepping up. Lucknow supergiants, meanwhile, are left with more questions than answers. From Pant's puzzling position to their slide after a dominant start, this was a match they let slip through their fingers. With only a handful of games left before playoffs, DC have momentum, and that might just make all the difference. Gill and Sai Sudarshan sculpt, Bolt and company sculpt the win as Titans flatten KKR. At Narendra Modi Stadium, Ahmedabad on the 21st of April, 2025. Gujarat Titans 198 for 3. Kolkata Knight Riders 159 for 8. GT won by 39 runs. Methodical, measured, mighty. That's the Gujarat Titans blueprint. And once again, it delivered in ruthless fashion. Shubman Gillu's class in a nay-flawless 90. B-Side Sudarshan raced the orange cap with another polished 50, and Joe's Butler turned on the finishing firepower to set up a daunting 198. That total, on a surface offering just enough grip and bounce, proved way out of reach for Kolkata Knight Riders, whose muddled batting effort fell short by 39 runs. With the win, GT consolidated their spot at the top, showcasing why they're the most tactically astute side in the league right now. The GT game plan, CSK spirit, Titans execution. They did it again. Calm power play, calculated gear shifts, minimal risk. GT's top three contributed 183 of the 198 runs, with all three batters playing distinctly different but complementing roles. Despite recording the second slowest power play score of IPL 2025, without a wicket 45, without loss, GT never looked ruffled. They assessed conditions, avoided aerial shots early, and only shifted gears once they had laid a solid base. It's old school in theory, but elite in execution. Gill the anchor, Sudarshan the accelerator. Shubman Gill, after a quiet power play 6 off 11, turned it on with precision. A calculated onslaught on Moeen Ali in the 8th over scoring 6. 4-4, flipped the switch. But even as Gill picked his moments, it was Sai Sudarshan who brought the tempo. The Tamil Nadu southpaw was especially savage against Varun Chakravarthi and Harshit Rana, bringing up his 50 in just 33 balls, quicker than Gill's. Their 114-run opening stand formed the backbone of the innings. Sudarshan eventually felt extra bounce from Andre Russell, but GT had already entered launch mode. Butler's finishing brilliance. Joe's Butler didn't waste time. 3 consecutive fours off Russell immediately after Sudarshan's exit stamped his authority. And with Gill taking down the spinners in the death overs, 12 off Varun, 11 off Naren, GT powered to 85 runs in the last 8 overs, without ever slipping into chaos. Gill missed a deserved century, falling for 90 off 55 via mistimed full toss. But Butler 41 off 23 and Sherrod Khan ensured the Titans crossed the psychological 190 mark on a 2-pace pitch. It felt like 210. KKR's misfiring machine. Ramanula Gurbaz had no answers to a Siraj special first-up, a ball that swung in late and rattled timber. And while Ajinkya Rahane tried to hold fort with a classy 50 off 36, wickets kept tumbling around him. Venkatesh Iyer's 14 off 19 was painfully sluggish, while even Sunil Naren, usually quick out of the blocks, struggled for fluency. When Rahane fell immediately after reaching his 50, stumped off a smart wide from Washington Sundar, KKR needed a miracle from Andre Russell. Russell tried, with a 4 and a 6 off Washington, but was tied down by Arsai Kishore before Rashid Khan ended his stay, dashing whatever slim hopes remained. Titans bowlers seal it. Prasid Krishna extended his purple cap lead with another clinical spell, 2 for 25 and 4, taking his tally to 16 wickets. Rashid Khan, back to his sharp best, and Sundar kept things tight in the middle. GT's bowling attack didn't need to blow teams away. They just outthink, outposition, and out-execute. KKR crawled to 159 for 8, and the margin could have been worse if not for some late scrambling from the lower order. Key moments. GT's 45 without lost power play, a slow burn that laid the perfect foundation. Gil Sados's 114-run stand, tactics over theatrics. Butler's late surge, vintage white ball flair. Sirud's unplayable first ball, Gurbaz never stood a chance. Rashid's return to form, choked the middle overs with control and craft. Player of the match, Shubman Gill. 90 off 55, commanding, composed, and classy. Final word, Gujarat Titans have made the table their own, not through brute force, but by mastering the balance between caution and aggression. With Gill's sublime timing, Sados's maturity, and Butler's final flurries, GT now have the perfect blend at the top. KKR, meanwhile, remain in puzzle mode. Their bowling lacks bite without breakthroughs, and the top-order inconsistency continues to haunt them. Time's running out to find that elusive spark. Fire vintage Rohit and Surya shine as MI crush CSK to turbocharge NRR at Wankhede Stadium, Mumbai on the 20th of April, 2025. Chennai Super Kings 176 for 5 played. Mumbai Indians 177 for 1 from 15.4 overs. MI won by 9 wickets. In a game that promised fireworks but delivered thunderbolt from the sky blue side, Mumbai Indians produced a statement win at the Wankhede, romping home by 9 wickets with a whopping 26 balls to spare. Rohit Sharma returned to form with a resplendent 76 off 48 balls, and Surya Kumar Yadav was his majestic best, smashing an unbeaten 68 off 35 balls as MI thumped Chennai Super Kings to storm into the top 4 contention and send their net run rate NRR soaring. This wasn't just a win, it was an NRR booster, a statement of intent, and a reminder that when MI clicks, they don't just win, they dominate. CSK's cautious crawl with the bat. CSK's approach was curious. On a pitch that had hosted 430 runs in a game just days ago, they opted for caution over carnage. Sheikh Rashid and Rachin Ravindra took 18 balls to find the fence. When Ayush Matre, a fearless 17-year-old debutant, arrived, he brought some verve, smashing 32 off 15 and briefly lighting up the Wankhede. But once he fell, the innings slipped into a strange lull. There was a 27-ball stretch where CSK didn't even attempt a boundary. Their batters poked and prodded, allowing MI spinners, Mitchell Santner and part-timer Ashwani Kumar, to dictate terms. Jube and Jadeja build, but MI squeeze. The rebuilding job fell on Shivam Jube 50 off 30 and Ravindra Jadeja 53 off 36. Jube eventually found his groove, cracking some lusty blows, especially off Bolt and Ashwani. He reached his half century with a late flourish, but Jasprit Bumrah, with his beguiling slower ball, ended the threat and reined CSK back just when they threatened to tee off. Santner, trusted with the 18th over, delivered a bounder free jam. A couple of late hits from Jadeja helped CSK scrape past 175, but given the Jew and MI's batting arsenal, it felt under par. Rohit's redemption, captain turns catalyst. MI had lacked big opening partnerships all season, until today. Rohit Sharma, under pressure and out of runs, roared back into form in style. He was decisive, ruthless, and elegant. His 6-off Deepak Chahar over deep mid-wicket brought the Wankhede to its feet. By the end of the power play, Rohit was cruising on 32 off 18, having found the ropes with effortless grace. Ashwin did trouble him briefly, but Rohit's slog sweep for 6 off the wily off-spinner in the 8th over was symbolic, a veteran reclaiming his edge. This was his first 50 of IPL 2025, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Surya dismantles Jadeja, lights up the chase. If Rohit built the platform, Surya Kumar Yadav vaulted it into the sky. Walking in after Rick Elton fell to Jadeja, Surya took no time settling. Against Jadeja, a bowler who had dismissed him 4 times before, Surya unleashed his sweep machine. From classical slogs to paddles, his manipulation of length and angle was masterful. He played 9 sweep shots of 35 runs, 3 of which soared into the stands. His acceleration, especially in the overs 10 to 14, ensured MI not only won, but did so with run rate enhancing gusto. Clinical MI show bowling smarts. Let's not forget the bowling brilliance that preceded the chase. Jasprit Bumrah 2 for 25 once again demonstrated why he is IPL royalty. His death overs were ice-cold brilliance. Santner's spell of 1 for 21, filled with subtle changes of pace and flight, completely disrupted CSK's rhythm. Ashwani Kumar, the young quick, showed promise in his early spells and nabbed a wicket of Ravindra. Hardik Pandya deserves credit too. His bowling changes were sharp, never letting CSK gain momentum through matchups. Turning points. CSK's 27-ball boundary drought after Mottre's dismissal completely shifted momentum. Bumrah's dismissal of Jube in the 17th was a final nail in the scoring coffin. Rohit's early aggression, especially against the new ball, made the chase feel routine. Surya's total destruction of spin, ensuring MI breezed past the target with an NRR boost. Final word, 3 wins on the trot. Opening stand secured. Rohit back in touch. Surya in full flight. MIR suddenly looking every bit the 5-time champions, and the performance, a 9-wicket win with over 4 overs remaining, might just be the spark that ignites their season. As for CSK, the lack of batting firepower is beginning to tell. Cautious intent may keep you in the game, but against MI in this mood, you need much more. Player of the match, Rohit Sharma, 76 off 48 balls, 5 fours and 4 sixes. King Kohli commands another chase as RCB end home drought ATM Chinnaswamy Stadium, Bengaluru, the 20th of April, 2025. Punjab Kings 158-4-7 OFF 20 overs. Royal Challengers Bengaluru 161-4-3 OFF 18.5 overs. RCB won by 7 wickets. There's something majestic about watching Virat Kohli chasing red and gold. At a ground that's seen heartbreak and heavy scores, Kohli brought his characteristic calm to guide Royal Challengers Bengaluru RCB to their first home win of the season, ending a hat-trick of defeats at the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium in IPL 2025. Chasing Modder's yet tricky 159 on a sticky pitch, RCB crossed the finish line with 7 balls to spare, thanks to a masterful 75 OFF 54 balls from their talisman, ably supported by Devdutt Padikkal's blazing 61. Kohli reclaims the chase throne. The target wasn't massive, but on a 2-pace surface where even timing was a luxury, the chase required poise. Kohli provided that, like he's done so many times before. He paced his innings perfectly, soaking up pressure and pouncing when it mattered most. His 50 came in 43 balls, with delicate dabs, elegant flicks, and a few fiery whips to boundary, including a ramp over third and a lofted 6-off chole that was vintage Kohli. The fact that he was there at the end, calmly watching Jitesh Sharma seal the match with a 6, spoke volumes. RCB needed 36 off 30 when Kohli took the reins fully. By the time the match ended, he had orchestrated a finish that was fluent, measured, and filled with intent. Padikkal's poise sets the platform. If Kohli was a finisher, Devdutt Padikkal was the igniter. After the early wicket of Phil Salt 4-1, Padikkal came in as the impact player and looked a class above. His 35-ball 61 was a beautiful blend of composure and aggression, highlighted by 4 fours and as many sixes, including a cracking pull-off Bartlett and a classy loft over mid-on. He raised his 50 off 31 balls, ensuring RCB never felt scoreboard pressure. The 88-run partnership between him and Kohli laid the perfect foundation. Just as he was looking to finish the job, he mistimed a slog off Harpreet Brar and fell to a smart catch at the boundary. But the damage was done. PBKS bowlers offer resistance. To their credit, Punjab Kings didn't go down without a fight. On a pitch that offered some grip but little tone, Harpreet Brar 1-4-27 and Yuzvendra Chahal 1-4-36 slowed things down for the middle overs, picking up Padikkal and Rajat Patidar respectively. Arshdeep Singh, despite not being at his menacing best, kept things tight early in return for a disciplined spell. But defending 158 was always going to need a knee-perfect effort, and PBKS lacked a bite at the death. Wadhura, Jansen Shine would bat for PBKS. Earlier, PBKS's innings was a study in momentum lost. After Prabhsimran Singh 33 off 17 and Priyansh Arya 22 off 15 gave them a quick start, the middle order caved under RCB's disciplined bowling. Josh Inglis 29 off 17 tried to rebuild, but his dismissal to Surya Sharma triggered a slowdown. It took a gritty 31 from Shashank Singh and a handy cameo from Marco Jansen 25 to push PBKS to 158, a total that looked competitive at halfway, especially given the pitch. Hazelwood and Arshdeep start the fireworks. RCB's bowlers, especially Josh Hazelwood 3-4-14, were the stars of the first innings. His nagging length and subtle seam movement broke the PBKS top order. He was supported by Bhuvneshwar Kumar 2426, who used the pitch smartly to restrict runs at the death. This was a platform that gave Kohli and Padikkal the breathing space to play with authority. Turning points. Padikkale's counterattack after Salt's early wicket, shifting momentum early in the chase. Hazelwood's 3-wicket burst, which prevented PBKS from even dreaming of 170+. Kohli's calm finish, including a ramp and a straight six that crushed PBKS's final hopes. Final word. RCB, once labeled vulnerable at home, have finally reversed that narrative. Kohli's composure, Padikkale's intent, and a solid bowling performance mean they now move up the IPL 2025 table with belief. For PBKS, it's another so close, yet so far tale. Their batting lacked the killer blow, and their bowlers, despite effort, couldn't contain King Kohli. Player of the match, Virat Kohli, 75 off 54 balls. IPL 2025 Match 36 report. Iceman Aves frees his Royals as LSG pull off last over classic at Jaipur Calendar on the 19th of April 2025. Lucknow Super Giant 180 for 5, Markram 66, Badoni 50. Samad 30 beat Rajasthan Royals 178 for 5, Jaiswal 74, Sirvanshi 34, Aves 3 for 37 by 2 runs. Rajasthan Royals were coasting. 9 runs required off 6 balls, 6 wickets in hand, and a well-set batting lineup ready to close out the chase. But cricket has a funny way of flipping the script, and Aves Khan had the pen in hand. In one of the most dramatic final overs of IPL 2025, Aves held his nerve like a seasoned ice sculptor, delivering 5 searing Yorkers to squeeze out a stunning 2-run win for Lucknow Super Giants. Just days after choking in a similar situation against Delhi Capitals, stumbled at the doorstep again. From near certainty to sheer despair, Aves Khan's cold-blooded finish sent Lucknow soaring and left Jaipur silent. Aves' nerve, Royals' nightmare. The final over deserves to be carved in granite. Needed just 8 runs. Shimron Hetmyer started with a lucky edge for 2. Then came a fumble from Shardul Thakur that gifted another brace. But pressure does funny things. Hetmyer's powerful flick next ball landed straight into Thakur's hands, this time at backward square. Revenge was instant. 2 balls left. For needed, Shubham Dubey was dropped the previous ball by David Miller, but no redemption came. A straight drive was parried by Aves himself. 1 ball remained. 3 to win. 2 to tie. Dubey drilled it hard, but again, Aves was in the way, sticking out a left arm like a wall. It was over. Had bottled it. LSG had stolen it. The spark that was Sirvanshi. Before the finish, there was 14-year-old Vaibhav Sirvanshi fearless, flamboyant, and utterly unfazed on debut. Coming in as impact player, he bludgeoned his first IPL ball for 6 over cover. He then cleared his front leg to smoke Aves over long off, and launched another 6 down the ground off Ravi Bishnoi. Even a drop catch off a top edge didn't halt the show. Sirvanshi was in the zone. It took a turning delivery from Aiden Markram and a sharp piece of glove work from Rishabh Pant to finally dismiss him for a sparkling 34 off 16. By then, he and Yashasvi Jaiswal had put on 85 and 8.3 overs, turning heads and tilting the balance in R's favor. Jaiswal's brilliance, one mistake too many. Yashasvi Jaiswal's purple patch continued with another elegant 74 off 47. His timing was exquisite, his footwork against spin fearless. He pulled, swept, lofted, and manipulated the field like a veteran chess player. But one moment of overconfidence became the crack in the wall. Backing away to slice a Yorker-length ball from Aves behind point, he found only timber. LSG saw their chance, and they took it. Samad's late blitz, the match within the match. LSG's final flourish came courtesy Abdul Samad, whose unbeaten 30 off 10 turned what looked like a middling total into a target just out of R's reach. Having been held back for the death overs, Samad exploded in the final over, smashing 4 sixes in a 27-run cameo that stunned Rajasthan. His timing and clean hitting shifted momentum dramatically. And while Aves would later claim the limelight, Samad's knock was a pulse that kept LSG alive. Tactical moves, Badoni's anchor, Markram's calm. Earlier, Ayush Badoni was brought in as an impact player to stabilize the innings after the top order stuttered. Replacing Marsh, he worked the angles, rotated strike, and then accelerated, finishing with composed 50 off 34. At the other end, Aiden Markram anchored the innings with a fluent 66, smartly rotating against spin and using the big boundary to his advantage. Together, they rebuilt after early wickets, before handing over to Samad for the grand finale. Another heartbreaker for Royals. Back-to-back failures and tight chases will haunt Sanju Samson's side. Despite Jaiswal's brilliance, Sirvansh's stardust, and an experienced finishing pair, R's execution once again faltered when it mattered most. What could they have done differently? Rotate better in the middle? Attack Aves earlier? Hold back their composure? The questions are many. The answers, elusive. Player of the match, Aves Khan. For that final over. For the nerves of titanium. For rewriting the script when it was nearly finished. Aves Khan, take a bow. Lucknow supergiants surge into the top four. Rajasthan Royals, once cruising, now face introspection and a crucial turning point in their campaign. As the league heats up, one thing's clear. IPL 2025 doesn't do predictable. IPL 2025 Match 35 report. Butler bosses the Chasers Titans take top spot in style at Ahmedabad on the 19th of April 2025. Gujarat Titans 204 for 3, Butler 97, Rutherford 43, beat Delhi Capitals 203 for 8 Axar 39, Ashutosh 37, Prasid 4 for 41 by 7 wickets. After soaking up 20 overs behind the stumps on a hot Ahmedabad afternoon, Joe's Butler emerged with ice in his veins, producing a masterclass in timing, temperament, and tenacity. His unbeaten 97 off 54 balls powered Gujarat Titans to their first 200-plus chase in IPL history, handing Delhi Capitals their first loss after posting more than 200. The victory, sealed with 4 balls to spare, was a statement of intent from the Titans, whose blueprint of backing a top-heavy order bore fruit yet again. And right at the center of it all was Butler, glove man, master chaser, and match winner. Butler Blazers, one stroke at a time. Butler's innings was a study in controlled aggression. It wasn't just about boundaries, it was about intelligence. Early on, he was struck painfully in the groin by a Stark-length delivery. That only seemed to fire him up. As wickets fell around him, Gil via a mix-up, Sudarshan miscuing a pull, Butler settled into his usual rhythm, siding square drives, wristy flicks, and delicate scoops. He picked his moments, never more ruthlessly than against Stark in the 15th over. That over changed the tempo of the game. Stark tried angle and variation, but Butler was in complete control. 4 boundaries came in that one over, an off drive, a cut, a slash behind point, and a clinical punch down the ground. 20 runs shaved the required rate from 11 to just under 9. From there, the chase never looked in doubt. Titans set the chase puzzle and solve it. If Gujarat Titans are anything this season, they are deliberate and disciplined. Their game plan is simple. Bat one of the top 3 deep, then unleash chaos through the finishes. This time, it was Butler's turn to anchor, and he did it with flair. Earlier, Gill's early dismissal off a sharp throw from there had put pressure on GT. But Sudarshan 24 off 16 and Butler responded with a flurry of boundaries in the power play, attacking spin and pace alike. After Sudarshan's departure to Kuldeep Yadav, it was Sherfane Rutherford who took on the acceleration duties. He began cautiously but exploded against Mohit Sharma, pulling back-to-back short balls over the ropes. He also cleared long off with nonchalance against Kuldeep, racing to 43 off 25 before being dismissed. That partnership, worth 119 off just 62 balls, effectively battered DC out of the game. DC's 200 falls short on a flat deck. The Capitals won the toss, batted first, and put up a seemingly winning score of 203. But while the top order fired in parts, it lacked staying power. Karen their 31 off 18 and KL, Rahul 28 off 14 set the tone early. Rahul looked particularly dangerous before Prasid Krishna produced a classic outswinging Yorker to knock him over. Stubbs and Axar steadied things through the middle with a risk-averse 53-run stand. But GT spinners kept them in check. Rashid bowled quick and tight, and boundaries dried up. Stubbs' inventive 29 came to an end with a miscue off a dipping Yorker, and Axar couldn't find a single boundary in his last 9 balls, eventually edging Prasid behind. That left Ashutosh Sharma with the finishing responsibility, and he delivered with a couple of vital sixes and clever strokes to push DC past 200. But even then, the feeling lingered. Was it enough? Gujarat's precision at the death. GT's bowling was far from flashy, but it was efficient. Their death-over plans were clear. Yorkers wide of off stump, short balls of the body, and change-ups. Prasid Krishna's 4 wickets were a standout, but Arshad Khan and the fielders also stepped up. A special mention for Butler's wicket-keeping. 2. His diving catch to remove Vipraj Nigam was a highlight, and his composure behind the stumps gave the bowlers confidence to go full throttle. The final over, Ultawashia. With 10 needed off the last over, Delhi still held faint hopes. But Rahul Tawashia, ever the Iceman, had other ideas. Stark missed his length, and Tawashia slog-swept him over mid-wicket first ball. A fine edge past the keeper off the next ball finished it. As the crowd roared and Butler raised his bat in silent salute, Gujarat Titans knew this was a landmark win. Their bowling is peaking, their batting is firing, and their belief is sky-high. Player of the match, Jose Butler. For keeping for 20 overs, batting for 54 balls, and playing one of the great modern-day chasers, Butler's 97 was a beating heart of Gujarat's charge to the top. Up next, Gujarat looked to consolidate. For Delhi, it's back to the drawing board, where dropped chances, misfired overs, and a lack of penetration may haunt them unless swiftly addressed. PBKS hand RCB third straight defeat in a low-scoring thriller at the Chinnaswamy. April 18, 2025 at M. Chinnaswamy Stadium, Bengaluru. Punjab Kings 98 for 5 beat Royal Challengers Bengaluru 95 for 9 by 5 wickets. A match for the bowlers, a nightmare for the batters. On a pitch rendered venomous by a spell of pre-match rain, Punjab Kings PBKS executed their bowling plans to perfection to hand Royal Challengers Bengaluru RCB their 3rd consecutive loss at home. In a truncated 14 overs per side encounter that turned into a bowler's day out, 14 wickets fell in just 26.1 overs. Tim David stunning 50 off 26 balls was a lone bright spark for RCB in a shambolic collapse to 42 for 7. But Nehal Wadere's calm and composed 33 off 19 balls under pressure ensured PBKS sealed a vital win with 11 balls to spare. RCB collapsed, from power hitters to powerless. After being asked to bat, RCB looked to attack from ball 1, a strategy that quickly backfired. Phil Salt and Virat Kohli were both dismissed playing ill-advised pulls. Arshdeep Singh, bowling a beautiful length, picked up both early wickets in the power play. Marco Jansen extracted bounce and trapped Krunal Pandya with a rising ball that ballooned up for a caught and bowled. Yuzvendra Chahal, reveling in his old loopy style, snagged 2 for 11, including the dangerous Rajat Patidar. RCB were 42 for 7 in the 8th over. But then came Tim David, who went from 7 off 12 to 50 off 26, smacking 3 consecutive sixes in the final over to take RCB to 95 for 9 amid a miracle that at least gave them something to bowl at. Tim David was a lone ranger on a sinking ship, IPL commentator on air. PBKS bowling breakdown. Chahal 2 for 11-2. Arshdeep 2 for 23. Jansen 2 for 10. Broad 2 for 25 all with excellent economy rates. Together, they dismantled RCB with swing, bounce, guile, and guts. PBKS chase, scratchy but steady. Chasing a seemingly modest 96 was anything but straightforward on a 2-pace pitch with awkward bounce. PBKS stumbled early to 33 for 2, with Prabhsimran and Arya falling cheaply. Josh Inglis and Shreyas Iyer rebuilt with measured aggression before Josh Hazelwood's extra bounce undid them both. At 53 for 4, the game was back in the balance. But Nehal Wadhera, cool as ice, absorbed the pressure and unleashed a counterattack. Reverse Suyash Sharma threw 3rd for 4. Launched him over long off. Sliced through covers. And smoked a 6 over fine leg followed by a textbook slap through covers. Wadhera's 33 not out made sure PBKS stayed composed. And Marcus Swanee's, in for Maxwell, finished the job in style with a 6 over long on. Tactical edge, PBKS bowling plan outclasses RCB's power game. PBKS adapted brilliantly to the shortened game and tacky pitch. Used bounce and variation rather than pure pace. Chahal was brought in early when RCB were looking to rebuild, a masterstroke. In contrast, RCB's batters didn't read the pitch and went too hard too early. Even Hazelwood's 3 for 14 couldn't save them. RCB are struggling to decode their home pitch. It's no longer their fortress, said Pujara post-match. Key moments. Pre-match rain created a tricky surface with uneven bounce. RCB 42 for 7 inside 8 overs. Tim David's late innings fireworks 50 unbeaten with 3 sixes in last over. Nehal Wadhura's calm finisher role in tricky chase. What this means. RCB's home woes continue. 3 straight defeats at Chinnaswamy in IPL 2025. PBKS jump into top 4 contention with back-to-back stunning wins. RCB must fix their batting strategy and home pitch tactics before it's too late. Player of the match, Yuzvendra Chahal, for his masterful spell of 2 for 11 in 3 overs, turning the game in PBKS favor at the crunch moment. Final word. This wasn't your typical Chinnaswamy belter. It was a gritty, low-scoring slugfest where adaptability, intelligence, and bowling finesse won over brute force. PBKS showed resilience and smart cricket to hand RCB their 3rd defeat on the trot, while RCB now faced tough questions about team balance, pitch preparation, and approach. RCB fans are asking, where's the home advantage? And for PBKS, it's now about riding the wave of momentum into the business end of the tournament. Stay tuned as the IPL 2025 drama continues to twist and turn. IPL 2025 thriller at Wankhede. Mees clever bowling and Will Jack's all-round brilliance clinch win over SRH. Mumbai Indians beat Sunrisers Hyderabad by 4 wickets with 11 balls to spare. Match summary. Sunrisers Hyderabad 162 for 5 from 20 overs. Abhishek 40, Klaasen 37, Jacks 2 for 14, Bumrah 1 for 21. Mumbai Indians 166 for 6, 18.1 overs. Jacks 36, Rickelton 31, Cummins 3 for 26, Malinga 2 for 36. Mumbai Indians won by 4 wickets. Mumbai's strategic masterclass on a sluggish Wankhede pitch. Mumbai Indians MI delivered a calculated, tactical performance to edge out Sunrisers Hyderabad in a low-scoring but captivating clash. In a game where brains beat brawn, Mees bowlers adapted brilliantly to the sticky Wankhede pitch, using cutters, yorkers, and off-spin wizardry to restrict a powerful SRH lineup. With this win, MI have now won 2 in a row, and their playoff hopes are well and truly alive. Will Jacks, the unsung hero turned star. After a quiet start to his debut IPL season, Will Jacks finally showed his full worth. With the ball, 3 overs, 2 wickets, 14 runs completely shut down SRH's left-handed top 3. With the bat, 26 ball 36, part of a match-winning partnership with Suryakumar Yadav. MI deployed Jacks right after power play, where he extracted grip and turn, and dismissed both Ishan Kishan and Travis Head, changing the tempo of SRH's innings. He balls his matchup and gave us the tactical freedom to delay the impact sub, MI coach. Mumbai's bowling, yorkers, variation and discipline. Even without a full spell from Karan Sharma injured before bowling, Mees pace battery adapted beautifully. Jasprit Bumrah, ever the maestro, returned figures of 1 for 21, including a death over clinic in the 19th over that cost just 4 runs. Hardik Pandya, hobbling at times, still produced a vital breakthrough, while Dipachar, Trent Bolt, and Jacks applied a squeeze in the middle overs. The plan? Ball into the pitch. Mix in deceptive slower balls. Nail yorkers at the death. SRH's attempt to power down the ground failed repeatedly. They had just 5 sixes in total, with most boundaries coming behind square. SRH's struggles, missed momentum, misfired middle. SRH started with luck on their side. Abhishek Sharma dropped on the first ball of the match. Had survived the no-ball wicket. Jacks dropped a sitter at slip. Yet, they couldn't capitalize. Despite a 59-run opening stand, both Abhishek 40 of 27 and Head 28 of 29 found it tough to time their shots. The pitch was slow, and Mees bowling even slower, in the best way. Henrik Klassen